Hello and welcome to episode 39 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and alongside me tonight, as always, the one, the only, Perry Burkham.
Aloha.
Konnichiwa. And joining us tonight for the very first time, a friend of the show, Alex Mateo, aka Mr. Panda.
Ni hao, as pandas say.
Perfect.
Hello, guys.
Yes.
Pleasure to be on.
No, the pleasure is all ours.
How are you?
I am good. I am, it's this. The Switch has been out for a while, so I've been enjoying the last 4 months of my life. So yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to complain. I was just talking to Casey about that. How we literally have the perfect Zelda, or the one we've all wanted, and then we have the Mario we've all wanted on the horizon, and then the Metroid we all want on the horizon, and then mix in all the rest of the amazing Splatoon and ARMS, and you just can't be. You have to be happy.
This reminds me of this pleasant time a decade and a half ago called the GameCube era, and
Yes.
it's a new Metroid, new Mario, new Zelda, all within the same year of each other.
Oh,
Good
baby.
stuff.
I really think 2017 is going to go down as one of those years you look back upon and you're just like, God damn, baby.
Yeah,
That was
it's
the
crazy
year.
how many good games,
not like that 2016.
and not even
though.
counting 3DS.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
3DS too.
Let's not discount 2016. It might not have been great for the Wii U, but it was pretty legit for the 3DS as a big JRPG fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
I
that
was
niche
loving
audience,
it.
Agree, yeah. A golf clap that.
yeah.
Golf clap.
Yeah, so Alex, aka Mr. Panda, why
That's-
don't you tell us about yourself? Who are you?
I am.
Where are you?
Well, I am
Please don't say
Alex,
where you are.
aka Mr. Panda, and so I actually I am on the YouTubes. I run the YouTubes with my wife. We are the Pandas at Play, and what we do is we review Nintendo games, mostly Switch stuff right now. Because that's the new big thing. And we also play through games together, such as Snipper Clips, of course, which is like the perfect co-op, puzzle game. And we've also been doing some experiments, such as playing Super Mario Brothers and Snake Pass while sharing a controller. So we like to do fun things like that. We also do discussions. So we talk about, E3 or Zelda spoiler casts, stuff like that.
The good stuff.
Good
the good
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah. So basically, I review games, and I'm a big Nintendo fan, and I listen to this podcast, and I listen to a lot of stuff on NWR. Been following the site since the Planet GameCube days, so
Woo!
2000,
Wow.
2001. So yeah, I've been
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
I
You
sure
also
have.
was
dabble
9.
in the written word as well, don't you?
I do, yeah. So I also, before the YouTube's days, I've been writing reviews on my personal site, Mr. Panda's Video Game Reviews. And I review games on there, and then I also review games, for other sites. Am
So
I allowed
he's
to
in the-
say them here?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I'm an editor for Dark Station, and I
Get him off! Get him out of here!
Well, just to make sure, I'm gonna censor all the words.
Planet
just-
GameCube forever. Planet GameCube forever. I bow down to our NWR overlords. So I edit, and I do the reviews things. I do a lot of PS4 and PC reviews, but I also get Nintendo games from time to time.
And you do very, very good work. I'm very impressed by everything you do. So everyone should check his stuff out. And we'll plug his stuff at the end. But yeah, very top shelf stuff.
Why, thank you. I'm like,
premium.
I'm blushing right now. You're flattering me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I do what I can, and it's been a passion of mine to, be writing these reviews and just helping people decide whether games are worth checking out or not, and it's fun to interact with these games and write about them and discuss them with other people such as yourselves.
Well, here we are right
Yeah.
now. And speaking of games that we've been playing, and what you've been playing, something a Switch game that we haven't really talked about at all that came out.
I have. I've been playing Disgaea 5 Complete. It's very complete, as the name implies.
The definitive version.
It's a strategy game, sort of in the vein of Fire Emblem or Advanced Wars. Sure, let's just name intelligence
Tactics.
systems.
Yeah.
Tactics. So
Yeah,
tactics
Final
over.
Fantasy Tactics.
There you go. I named something
Sure.
not intelligence systems. It is.
I've never played those games, but yeah.
I actually haven't played much of Disgaea before. I think I played Disgaea DS, but don't quote me on that. And there better not be some box code that
No,
says,
no.
"Oh, I love Disgaea DS." But
No, it's going in the show notes.
Disgaea 5 is it's the 5th game, but it has nothing to do with the other 4 games, as I can tell. Except for having it includes all the characters as DLC, which is all included in the package of complete. So that's nice.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's basically like Fire Emblem, except there's more what's verticality. Like, how in Fire Emblem everything feels like you're overhead and everything's on a flat plane. For most of the stages. Disgaea has more height, and they utilize that because all of the characters can stack on each other. Like make towers, and they
That's
can
amazing.
they can also throw each other. So it's definitely something that's not it's not as serious as Fire Emblem, because it just looks stupid when there are 10 characters stacked atop each other all fighting at the same time. Like it really looks weird. I mean, I have to tell you, so there's a lot of special attacks, right? Like, like they'll be doing special triple shots from their guns, or they'll do like these sword techniques. When you're in towers, you can do a unique tower attack that is just completely weird, and it depends on how many people you have. So there's this move called tower fishing, where everyone on the stack, the person on the bottom of the stack, uses the other 9 people as a fishing rod, fishes a shark out to devour the unit you're trying to attack.
Oh my!
Out of this ocean that has appeared out of nowhere, because let me tell you, this game does not take place on the water. It takes place in space. So it's weird. And then there's another one where, in Mario and Luigi games, where Mario and Luigi do all these weird things with each other, like they form planes, or
Yeah. Like
they just make towers. So one of the special attacks is called Tower Laser, in which everyone in the tower forms like a giant like free falling circle, and then a laser emerges from their center to attack their foes.
This game
It
sounds
makes
amazing.
no sense.
Yeah, Casey, I was exactly gonna say that word for word.
This
game does sound amazing.
I think I remember someone considering it sort of junk food game. Like it's just so outrageous and like over the top and stupid that it's just fun to get in there and just see how dumb it can get.
Oh yeah, the game is completely self-aware. Like, there is a story, and like I won't waste your time telling you what the story's about when I can just tell you the silly things that happen at the end of each episode. So, it's divided into episodes, sort of like chapters in Fire Emblem. At the end of the episode, like this fox, the 20th century fox logo, like a variant of that appears, and it says next episode preview. And then like they start describing, they do a skit, like they're describing some other completely random show. Like there was one where it was like an exercise show, or this parody of Inazuma 11, the soccer game, where they're like just making like, we have to form a soccer team and it's gonna be called Disgaea 11 or something like that. And or like a detective show. Like they do all of these silly things because they don't care. They don't actually care that they're just, making fun of themselves or that, they're in a game. Everything just happens, and I think I like it because of that. It's insane and self-aware.
When
Nice.
when your characters are stacked, you said you could do like all different kinds of moves. Is it dependent on who's involved in the stack, or is it more just a matter of how many people?
No, it only matters how many people, and you can only send out 10 at a time. So it's only up to 10 people, but it depends if any characters are giant, then you can't do the special attacks because randomly you can make characters gigantic.
This game sounds
Big
bonkers.
Oh, and I haven't even talked about, so like I said, it comes with a lot of DLC characters and scenarios, which is nice. So one of the characters it comes with is, her name is Nisa, otherwise Nisa, or Nippon Ichi Software America. And she has special attacks completely related to Nippon Ichi, like the company, like NIS.
Is she super overpowered?
She is very overpowered. Like she's like the perfect character. And her special power, so everyone like sort of has like a special ability, an evil ability called an evility. Hers is I could keep going. Her special like power is that for every like I think minute or every hour you've played Disgaea 5, she gets stronger.
Oh my god.
She's like a walking advertisement for the game that she's in.
That's amazing.
And this game's like hundreds of hours long, right? If you go through all of it, I believe.
Yeah, so there I'm like 7 chapters in, and from what I hear I'm like halfway through maybe. So far I've only taken around 25 or 30 hours, so I assume that I'll be finished in another 30 hours or so. But there's a lot of post game from what I hear, and I believe it because you can go up to level 9,999. which it sounds hard, but there's a literal cheat shop in the game. Like you go to the shop, it's called the cheat shop, and you can turn experience points gained, up to 500%. And then you can make enemies like hundreds of levels higher than you, so that you can gain, the experience needed to reach level 9999.
That's
Is there
insane.
any skill at all?
Oh, there's a lot of skill. If you don't use the cheat, or if you're like playing someone normally, if that's even possible, then yeah, it plays out like a strategy game. It does. The early chapters are really hard because I was just getting my bearing and learning how to do all the things they were throwing at me.
And you didn't find the cheat shop.
No, that did not unlock until later in the game. But once that unlocked, I went from level 15 to level 108 in 1 hour.
Oh my god.
And then I just
exponential growth.
Yes, I just stopped there because I was like, well, I could level up, or maybe I could, play the game and see where the game catches up to my level. And so far it hasn't, so I think I'll be good for the rest of the game, maybe.
At this point, when you're 108, are you just destroying everyone, or are they still putting up a decent fight?
They're putting up a decent fight, and I couldn't tell you why, because I don't understand how any of the statistics in the game work, but they're putting up a good fight unless I use my giant characters and use this giant move on them, which is overpowered. So yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, would you recommend the game?
I would very much recommend the game if you like games like strategy tactics types of games.
Okay.
Although everything I've said sounds ridiculous, it's all put together in like a well-developed, well-designed strategy RPG. And I think the amount of content, like the amount of things you can do, is a lot higher than I'm used to in like Fire Emblem. And that's not this, not to diss on Fire Emblem because I like it a lot, but between Fire Emblem Echoes, which has just come out, and Disgaea 5, I have put way more time into Disgaea 5 because it's new, it's interesting, and it still fills that strategy itch.
Because it's on the Switch.
Plus,
And you
it's
can use yellow Joy-Cons.
and it's on the Switch. So, if Fire Emblem were on the Switch, then I'd be totally playing that. But because Disgaea is on the Switch, then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think it's important to note that there is a demo, right, that you can download.
It is very important. In fact, I wouldn't have, gotten the game if not for the demo. It is a full demo of Chapter 1, and I think I put in maybe 3 to 5 hours on the demo itself. And I was like, when is it going to end? And it just didn't end. They let you do whatever you want. Now,
That's awesome.
You can't transfer anything from the demo to the real game. So,
Interesting.
basically you just want to go through the first few chapters and chapters in the episode to see if you like it, but don't go into it thinking, hey, I can transfer my level 9,000 character into the real game, because you can't. Then you just wasted your time on the demo, and sorry.
That's a bummer. You'd think it would, if they gave you the first full chapter, it should have just been an option to hey, do you want to purchase the rest of the game and just jump off from this point?
Yeah.
But especially if it's 3 to 5 hours long, potentially, if you go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go through it again. But I'm sure you learn skill, and then you could probably get through it quicker.
Right. I think thing is also you get the DLC. The very first one of the very first things you get all the DLC, and a lot of that helps or makes characters unique. Because you can make your own characters or you can use story characters, but there aren't enough to make a full team of 10 unless you use the DLC characters. So maybe they just wanted to, advertise that as people to play as before you got too leveled up from the demo.
Cool.
Plus, you have to use your 1 million gold from the demo somehow. Or from from the DLC somehow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, the DLC
That
gold.
is funny.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thanks for filling us in on Disgaea 5. I'm definitely more interested. I'm actually downloading the demo right now as we speak.
Oh, yes.
Because I always forget to. So I made sure to do that right now. So I'm going to check it out. Casey, have you tried it at all?
I downloaded the demo, and I think I played it for 5 minutes, and then something came up, and then I just never got back around to it.
Okay.
But yeah, that might be a game
it is a
down the
physical
road.
Release.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to remind me.
Casey.
No, I'd had plans to purchase it because I like tactic games, and it seems so over the top and kooky and fun that I'm sure I'd have fun with it. But for right now, there's just so many more games going on that
Right.
I hope to maybe one day get back to it. But right now, I'm drowning over here.
Well, speaking of you drowning over games that you've been playing, I know you've been mad at work on the latest hotness on the 3DS.
Yep. I've been playing the 3DS way more than I have been playing the Switch lately. And this game also has a demo, and that is Ever Oasis.
Alright.
Unreleased game. Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
By the time this posts, the reviews should be up, so and then the next day it'll be coming out. But yeah, Ever Oasis, the new IP from Grezzo, the guys who worked on the Zelda games for the 3DS and Triforce Heroes, one of our
I think all of them, right?
yeah, yep, both Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. I don't know if they helped with.
I think they did do A Link Between Worlds as well.
They might have
helped.
they might have been like
I think they helped.
yeah, like a back end
They
kind
had
of
something
thing.
to do with it. Yeah.
They did a Street Pass game. I can tell you that much.
Yep, they've done a couple of Street Pass games and Ever Oasis now. So yeah, I mean, you guys sort of probably have an idea what this is, but essentially you start off the game in a little oasis, and all of a sudden something called chaos comes, and it's sort of like a big bad spirit thing that it sort of sprouts up in the oasis, and your character is in trouble. You're pretty much going to to kick the bucket, if you will. But then your brother jumps in to rescue you, taking the bullet for you and sort of getting you out of harm's way. And then that whole oasis just is toast. You know what I mean? The chaos took it over. And now your goal is like, all right, I need to find a water spirit, and I need to make my own oasis, because your character is actually a seedling. So their whole purpose is to, make the oasis. They shack up with a water spirit, and they make an oasis. So, that happens pretty early on, as you'd imagine. And the game starts introducing you into the many, many different elements it has. You start off with a very small town, or a very small oasis, like just a little tiny road, like a tiny little garden, a main, plaza, and you slowly start building it up by getting new residents. So these people will come visit your town, and you will talk to them, and they'll have some sort of prerequisite to join as a resident. In the beginning, it's pretty easy. It's like, oh, hey, I need a couple cactus leaves or something to that extent, and you go out and you get them, and they join your town. And then as you get more residents, then you can upgrade your oasis, and by doing that, it starts to expand and get bigger. And each resident that comes, not all of them, but most residents that come in, they can open up their own shop, which are called bloom booths, which is amazing. And they make their own little town, their own little shops, and there's like a ball shop, a pinwheel shop, a juice shop, all sorts of weird, like a scarf shop, like all these weird little shops that they end up popping up, and they actually end up attracting even more residents, because you'll talk to the people in your town, and they'll have rumors like, oh, I was out in the desert, and I met this guy, and he said he was looking for a scarf, So then you need to
go to the scarf shop.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have a scarf shop, then all of a sudden the next day, oh, there's that guy who's looking for the scarves, and then you can talk to him, and that'll be the prereq, and he'll be like, oh, I love this oasis, it's great, and then he'll move in.
Do you know where I can find any scarves? Sir, you are in luck.
Yeah,
there happens to be a town about 10 minutes that way. I'm sure you will find some.
So can I buy the Hyrule Warrior scarf in this scarf shop? Because I've totally moved to this oasis if I could.
It's the cheapest way you can get it.
Well, do I have the bloom booth for you?
Yeah. There's like a Nintendo World Store bloom booth.
Oh, that's amazing. But what happens is you actually supply these bloom booths with supplies to sell to people. So, like, as the mayor of this bloom booth, or the chief, actually, as you're called, it's like you're doing everything. So it's like, I'm supplying these booths with supplies so they could sell and make, I forget what the currency's called. It's some sort of water droplet, but it's got a weird name. And you supply them with the materials, and then you can keep pushing that forward, and then as you supply them more, like, each booth will actually be able to level up, and they'll sell better items and get you more money, and this goes on, and yeah, so it's great, it's really fun. It's actually, in the beginning, I was like, okay, this is, okay, whatever, but it's actually really satisfying to see your oasis continue to grow, and then it goes from like one road full of stores, and all of a sudden you unlock another road, and you get tons and tons of different stores and a lot of people, and it really does feel very alive. But that's only like a quarter of the game, because the other another big chunk is actually going out and fighting and being in combat, and it's super 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 fun. It's real time, so you go out there and you'll see, enemies hopping around or whatever, and you go up there and you attack them, and you'll have to actively dodge and use your attacks, and as you level up,
Isn't it kind of like Xenoblade? Kind of like the system?
So, yeah, I guess you could say sort of like that.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, like, you'll be dodging and, attacking with A, and then as you level up, you'll unlock different combos, which is really nice, because then all of a sudden you get, point where you'd be like, instead of just hitting A a bunch of times, I could throw, like, A, X, A, and all of a sudden they're doing more damage, and, you have parties of 3, so you can mix and match, and each actually resident there's different abilities that you'll need to traverse each area. Like one of them is they roll up in like a little pellet, so they can go through like holes in the wall to the other side. One like is sort of like the Deku seed, where it's like they go in there and it pops you up and it sort of brings you to another area, and it's really fun, and it's nice the different characters as you go. You unlock a bunch of different characters with different weapon types, so you can switch between your characters by just pressing the D-pad. So it's nice to be able to like not be locked into just one type of attack. And
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and eventually you move on to the dungeons, and my goodness, the dungeons are superb. They're so much fun. You get it.
Are they puzzly?
Yeah, light puzzle. Nothing painstakingly
Okay.
like, oh my god, I really need to crack my head against this thing. But enough where it's fun, it's satisfying. It's a little annoying sometimes because you'll be like, oh crap, I don't have the right party member. I need this ability and I don't have him. But what is nice is they have like a button you could just transport right back to the Oasis, and then you can return right back to where you were. So it's usually not a problem if you don't have the proper party with you. It gets, like I said, it gets a little tedious, but nothing bad because it is really nice and easy to just do that.
About how many people are in the party?
You have 3 party members. So yourself.
I mean, like total, like characters wise, like.
Like roster.
Yeah, like
I
a roster.
think I'm encroaching the final part of the main story. I think there's going to be quite a bit of post game that you could do. I'm pretty sure you can get up to like, don't quote me, definitely over 60 residents. I think you can get up to like 80 or 100. I think I'm at like 30. So, and you can, grab those residents and bring them into your party. So it's like, there's a lot of different characters to pick from. And granted, a bunch of them are pretty similar, like, there would be different people, but like similar skills. So like, it might not, be a huge difference between those two necessarily. But, as like the Oasis gets bigger, it starts getting to the point where like, I remember in the beginning when there was only like 2 or 3 like little booths and one little garden, I'm like, oh, I could do this and then I can go and explore. But then when you start getting really, really big, it's like, oh, how am I going to restock all of these, little booths and do all the gardening and then go out and, attack. It's just going to be very time consuming, but the games actually does a really nice job of introducing a character who's sort of like, he's like, hey, like, I'm here to help out and I don't really have any super special abilities, but, I can do these things for you. And then you could talk to him and he'll actually, like, you can give him all the materials and he'll restock all of the booths to save you time. So they do a good job of, like, keeping the quality of life, like, oh, we don't want you to waste, 15 minutes doing all this crap. Just go here and he'll do it for you. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, it's interesting. I guess I didn't realize that Grezzo, that the president is Koichi Ishii, and he's the guy that did like the Mana series or the Mana series.
Yes, sir.
For but with Square Enix, and so like looking through, like that's so weird. I just didn't have that connection, and they I didn't realize that that they didn't do A Link Between Worlds. They didn't have that. I thought that they did, but they did all the rest of the Zeldas. But they did Legend of Legacy.
Really?
I didn't realize that was a Grezzo game. And that's their only game not published by Nintendo.
I'm looking at that wiki. It looks like there's a couple developers, so maybe they I don't know how much they chipped in.
Yeah, but anyway, like I didn't put that together. That's kind of cool. So I mean, what are your final thoughts? Like, I mean, is this like a giddy up, like really good game, exciting?
I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, the structure's sort of like, okay, there's like an overlying story of that chaos, and you need to take care of that. And periodically, like, events will happen, and it'll be like, oh, you need to go take care of this, like, and then that's sort of where the dungeons start coming into play. And then when you're not doing that, it's a lot of like, oh, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get residents to come to my town. A lot of like smaller quests, and normally you'd think like, do I really want to go do a bunch of smaller quests to sort of progress to the bigger parts? And that's sort of my complaint with like a Xenoblade Chronicles X. Where it's like, oh, I don't want to do all these mini quests to actually progress the main story. But here it works really well because the quests, the area isn't huge. I mean, I should say that there's a pretty big area to explore, like a number of them, and they're pretty good size, but there's a lot of like travel fast points. So it's easy to get around. On your quests, like they show you, like you can hit the little map button and it'll show you right where you need to go. Like, hey, you need to kill these monsters, they're over here. So it's like really nice to, not have to be like doing a lot of guesswork, like, oh, I think I remember monsters like over here, and then like hoping they're there. The game does a good job, like, hey, if you want, you can check this map out, we'll tell you right where it is, or or the area where it is, and you can go take care of it. So everything's very snappy. Nothing's too drawn out for a long period of time. The dungeons are a nice size, but like it's not like you're going to be in there for 3 hours a clip, So overall, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it looks great, it plays great, and it's really cute and clever. Like there's some funny dialogue to join it, and overall, I really enjoy it.
This game.
Very good.
Yeah, this game really makes me think of with Secret of Mana, given the pedigree, and then one of those side quests where the one in every game where you have to fill up a town by gathering residents, and then they help you and build shops, or like Harvest Moon.
Yeah, it definitely has.
Or,
yep.
Fantasy Life.
Fantasy
right?
Life, yeah.
Fantasy Life?
I'm getting vibes of like Harvest Moon, Fantasy Life, those kinds of games, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, like I said, it adds a lot of elements between RPG and leveling up, and then the more action, like attacking the enemies, and then the farm sim and the gaining residents. So it's got a lot of different facets going on. There's a robust crafting system as well that you can get into if that's really if you're really big into that. You can craft gear and whatnot. So there's definitely a lot to do, and I think it's got a little bit of everything so there's going to be something you probably are going to like in the game, and for me, there's a lot, so.
Awesome.
Is there a cheat shop so I can level everyone up to level 9,000?
There is no cheat shop that I have found yet.
Can you build one?
I'm going to try, yeah. I want the cheat bloom booth.
There is a scarf shop, so.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's funny. Now, enough of that. I think we have the return of something that's been, I don't know how many episodes exactly, but it's been a hot minute.
Mystery history.
The old mystery history.
Mystery history.
And I'm so excited this is happening when I'm on. I've wanted to play this.
Well, this
I'm
is
ready.
good.
I'm pumped.
We've got two heads
Okay.
to smack against this instead of just mine.
Good.
Exactly. So it's just really funny because there was a point where I had to stop doing mystery histories because we were like doing one so much, and it just stopped happening. And I've been wanting to do one forever.
Because the Switch, man. Too many new games.
That's
There
true.
ain't no time
That is
for
true.
retro games.
That's right. That's right. Well, so if you don't know what this game is, which I'm sure some people don't because it's been a long time, it's 15 questions, yes or no. I have played a game that is on a system that's not on a modern system. So anything, DS back and Wii.
Anything
back.
but the Switch or the 3DS.
Is the
Or the
Wii
Wii
U modern?
Yeah,
We're still in the
we're
grace
sticking with
period?
Wii U as modern. Yeah, we're still in the grace
On the
period.
grace period, all right.
Yep. So I think how I want to structure it is that I'll have each of you do one question and the other one we'll just take turns doing
alternate works
questions.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then after 5 questions, if you don't get it, I have a hint, and after 10, I have a hint, and then after 15, I'll have a hint, and you have one last guess what it is, and I'm sure you'll get it. But we will see.
I think we should start off with Alex since he's the guest.
Oh boy. Oh
Sounds
boy.
good.
Guest guesses. All right.
right.
Let's see. Whew. Is it? Hold on, let me think. Now I have to think about it.
I know. It's so hard. It's so hard.
to
Like
be the
when
first
you, I know.
All right. Is it a game on a system?
Yes. Oh,
Oh no. I'm not done there. Is it a game on a system with a touch screen?
yes. No.
Okay.
Okay. So not a touch screen. All right. Is it cartridge based?
Yes.
All right. So then now we're looking at it's got to be what? N64, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, or a Game Boy game.
Yep. Third question.
Is it an 8-bit title?
No.
Alrighty.
But just to be clear, what do you count a Game Boy game?
8-bit.
Is that 8-bit?
Yeah, I guess so, right?
I've just never even heard what it is. But yeah. No, the answer is still no.
I was like, oh, there it is. It's Game Boy
We're getting
game.
a secret hit.
Nope. Because I was just wondering that. Okay, Casey, question 4.
Okay. So it's not a Game Boy game. So it's either a Game Boy Advance
Yeah, it could
or
be Game Boy
SNES
Advance,
or an N64 game. I mean, I guess process of elimination. Is it a portable game?
No.
Okay. So it's got to be Super Nintendo or N64. Or Virtual Boy. Oh, God.
Oh gosh! If we got to that point, we'd probably get it. then.
Virtual Boy totally counts. Just let you know.
How many bits is the Virtual Boy though?
Yeah, I don't even
Alright.
know.
Virtual 8-bit.
Is it on the Nintendo 64?
No. And that's 5 questions.
Okay.
All right, here's hint 1. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It was released on a Tuesday. That's not the.
Well, then it's not
No,
a
on
Nintendo game because Nintendo
Hold
games
on.
release on Fridays.
There you go. Released on a Tuesday when George H.W. Bush was president.
Oh, I don't know what year he was president to and from. You're killing me.
Oh,
But
man.
I mean, I could probably do the math in my head and figure it out. But
I hope you can.
let's see.
You're
So
an American.
so I think it's got to be a Super Nintendo game, and we're gonna trying to think what games Perry would play on the Super Nintendo. Is it a sports game?
No.
Oh, that long pause. I was like, did I get it?
So number 7. Question number 7, Alex.
Is it a Nintendo published game?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you repeat that? Sorry, what was that?
Oh, is it a Nintendo published game?
Okay, and he said
Yes.
Nintendo published, not a sports game. Is it a puzzle game?
No.
What question number are we on now?
You're number 9.
All right.
Your mighty number 9.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Beck.
For comparing me to him.
Yeah, it's like, what a terrible. Yeah. It's like I might as well have just slapped you right in the face.
Hey, Mighty Gunvolt Burst is pretty great actually. So there you go.
All right. Well, I'll be Mighty 9 at least.
There you go.
Is it a platformer?
No.
Heck is going on here, Perry? What games are
All
you
right,
playing?
10th question, Case.
All right, so we said it's not a platformer, not a
Not a
sports
platformer.
game, not a puzzle game.
Puzzle game. But it's Nintendo published.
But it's Nintendo published. Is it an air fighting game?
You mean is it Star Fox?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
No. And that's 10.
All right.
And it's time for hint number 2.
I hope it's better than the last hint.
Okay, but here's the new rule I'm coming
It
up
came
with.
in a box and it came with a manual.
I'm only saying this once, so you better listen. That's the new rule. Critics thought its single player could get boring but its multiplayer was timeless.
I'm starting to get some ideas swirling, potentially.
I feel like that's a good hint. I feel like it's also nice and not... It's hard coming up with these questions.
We could tell that by it came out on a Tuesday.
This came out on a Tuesday.
When HW was Prez.
I'm
That-
still
that-
stuck
that was
on
a
that
joke.
Tuesday.
The Tuesday was a joke. Stuck on
What
it.
could it mean? Tuesday, Wednesday,
Tuesday, let's see.
Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
The Illuminati.
So is it...
Is it my turn, I think? Or
Yeah.
Alex's
Alex's
turn.
my
Yeah.
turn.
Question 11.
Man. Something.
I hate this game. Mystery History needs to be discounted unless I'm doing it.
Oh. Let's see. But it's not sports, so what are we doing?
I have a question if you want me to jump in, and then you can get the next one.
Yeah, why don't you interrupt so that I can
Yeah.
Is it a racing game?
Yes.
I think I have an idea.
Okay. Is it
Number 12.
is Mario in the game?
Yes.
Is a whole cast of Nintendo characters in the game?
Yes. Question number 14.
All right.
If you can guess it, right? We can just guess it if we want.
does
Yep.
does the guess
Counts
count
as
as
a
a
question,
question?
Yep.
It counts as a question.
Sure does.
I'm
All
willing to
right.
risk it if you
I
are.
might.
I feel
just
confident.
before you do it,
Is it?
I'm just giving you fair warning. It might be tricking you, but okay.
You might be tricking me.
Well, I'm just saying you might be throwing yourself off. I'm just saying.
Okay. And hold on, Casey, what was your question before?
If it was a racing game, and then if
No,
a
no,
whole
no.
cast
After
of
that.
characters were
What
involved.
cast of characters?
A whole cast of Nintendo characters.
A whole cast of Nintendo characters. What is a Nintendo character, Casey?
I was thinking like Donkey Kong, Bowser, Peach.
Was Perry thinking that?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter what I was thinking. He said Nintendo characters.
Is it Super
And I said
Mario
yes.
Kart?
Yes, it is.
Yay! Woo! Yay, woo!
Longest build up to Super Mario Kart being the
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Can we
I
hear-
can guess myself.
Can we hear the last hint for good measure?
Yep. It was the first of one of the most successful franchises of all time.
All right. I can. That one's not a bad one. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Super Mario Kart. During E3, they had a sale on the eShop, and it was half off for $4. And I was like, yes, I've been waiting for a sale on this game. The Super Nintendo Virtual Console on new 3DS is phenomenal, and so I picked it up. And I have a This is for the history round. It's a bonus question that one of you will win. And I don't know what the prize is, but anyway, here it is. What place is Super Mario Kart in sales-wise?
Oh, opposed to the other ones.
Yep, and no looking online.
I'd imagine it has to be pretty
is the
low.
first, Is it like the best selling? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna
Like,
say
is it
this-
the first or the second?
Is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe like a 9th game for the series?
We won't count that.
Okay.
Since it's still,
I'd say
you know,
7th.
going. 7th.
I'd say 5th.
All right. The answer is
Probably 6th.
4th.
4th. Wow.
It's 4th. So Alex wins.
What did it?
All right.
What did it beat out?
All right. So I'll go from the top. So we got the least selling was Super Circuit at 5 million,
Yeah.
5.91
That's.
can
I
see
million.
that.
figured that would be there.
And then the second this is surprising to me, is Double Dash on GameCube.
I guess that
Blasphemy.
makes sense. I guess that
Let's
makes
buy
sense.
copies right now.
I
Change
know,
that
exactly.
number.
Yes, at 6.88. And then closely behind that is let's see, Mario Kart 8, 8.31. So Mario Kart 8 sold more on Wii U than Double Dash on GameCube. Pretty crazy.
Dude, 8's amazing.
8 is really good.
Yeah.
Just throw
Well,
that
8,
out there.
8 Deluxe is really, really good.
Yes.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And then next after that is here we are at the Super Mario Kart at 8.76 million.
That's a lot of millions.
Yes. So this was released September 1st, 1992.
What day was that,
When
Perry? What day of the
That was
week
a
was that?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Tuesday. On the SNES, it was made by EAD, produced by Miyamoto, and it was directed by Tadashi Sugiyama. And he is the one, he had worked on every Mario Kart, like up to Double Dash. And then he's off on different projects. So I really like him because I think Double Dash is like one of my favorites, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's funny because it's also worked on by Hideki Kono, who has possibly like the best work record ever, like of what he's worked on, like and he's basically worked on Mario Kart 64 until today. So he's kind of, it's kind of like the old crossing over. But he also obviously worked on that. I mean, he's worked on all the Mario Karts, but yeah, so he worked on let's see, Hideki Kono. You've probably heard his name, but he was a assistant director on Super Mario Bros. 3. He's the map director on Super Mario World, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, that map.
Yeah, and then director on Mario Kart. He did Yoshi's Island, Mario Kart 64, Yoshi's Story, Luigi's Mansion, supervisor on Wind Waker, and then he's producer on all of the Mario Kart since, DS, Wii, 7, 8. So pretty amazing.
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good resume.
What's your guys' history with this game?
Me personally, I barely played it. I don't think I had it back in the day for, when it was relevant. I've played it since, but, never to a super, insane degree. N64 is really my first real Mario Kart.
Sure. Yeah, same with me.
So, I mean, honestly, yeah, it's pretty minimal as far as my experience with it. It probably would be something that I'd like to go back and try out some more, but yeah, nothing too crazy, personally.
Sure. Alex, what about you?
I played a lot of Super Mario Kart when I was younger. The first time I ever played it, I was like at a family friend's house or something like that, and I just started playing it. I recognized Mario at that point because Super Mario World, Super Mario, all that stuff, and I really liked that it was Mario doing something besides platforming. I was like, wow, Mario's in a car. He's like using mushrooms and bananas. That's pretty cool. Shells. And the very, very first time I played it, though, I was horrible. Like that mode 7, like I was always going on the, off the track and slowing down. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Why is Lakitu telling me to turn around? What is happening in this game? So
Yeah.
I was really bad at first, and then I was like to my parents, like, I want this game, or like, this is a game that I like.
I need
and then
it.
magically sometime later I got Super Mario Kart, and there was no box, or maybe there was a box, I don't remember, but I just suddenly had Super Mario Kart in my collection. I was like, oh great, I'm going to play a lot of it. And play I did, and yeah, I just have very fond memories with both the racing and battle mode, and I really had a lot of fun with battle mode. Is actually just using the feather of all things. So that brings it back to Mario Kart 8, because now the feather is back.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm sitting. I was playing 8 Deluxe on my Switch, and then I immediately went back to Super Mario Kart, and that's a really fun thing because, it is Super Mario Kart. It's such a quality game, still. Like and it's pretty amazing. Like even then, they had like the dual screen thing going on.
Yes.
It's basically a DS, you know, because you have the widescreen on top of the screen is your Mario Kart, and then on the bottom, you have the portrayal of the people going around the track. It's really cool. Looking at it now, it's probably just saving processing, so it doesn't have to process the whole screen. So that's why I bet that freed up a lot of the memory to do something like that. But it's really cool. You know, of course, Nintendo, well designed. Some stuff that kind of stick out is like races like aren't always 3 laps; they're like 5 laps.
No, they're all 5 laps. Yeah.
Are they all 5
They
laps?
were
See, I
all
didn't know.
5 laps.
That's interesting.
Okay, because I didn't. Yeah, because they're shorter, and I kind of wish that they would bring something like that back. I love the idea of, and they kind of do stuff like this, but I love the idea of some tracks having more than 3 laps or less. Like, you know, they have the baby park, and that's 7.
Yes.
And that's really cool. And then like they have like the 64 Rainbow Road, which is just basically 1 lap because it's so big. And when I was playing with Nick, I was thinking it'd be kind of cool if on 200cc mode if it was 2 laps, you know, because it's so fast, or you know. But yeah, and then other thing is coins. Like coins were in the original, you know, picking up coins. And I don't know though. Do you know, Alex, if the whole getting up to 10 and boosting your car, like having more coins makes your car faster?
You know, I don't remember, but well, one, I'm pretty sure you can get more than 10 coins in Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And 2, I really don't see what the point of coins would be if it didn't do anything.
I'm
Like
looking
as a-
right
Exactly.
now.
Yeah, you're
By
right.
running over these coins, a cart collects them and increases its top speed.
There you go.
Okay, perfect.
Having
So
coins also
it has
helps
that.
players when their cart is hit by another. Instead of spinning and losing control, they lose a coin.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's
The
pretty
coins
cool.
were like
Isn't
currency.
that a great dynamic?
No,
What a cool idea.
I was very happy when they brought coins back to
Yeah, coins are great. Yeah.
Mario Kart. No, I think
Yeah, that-
coins are really good, and that adds a little difference to it. You know, instead of just like, of course, items always add craziness, but I don't know. I like gathering up the coins.
Yeah, there's a lot I missed
and-
from Super Mario Kart. Like Donkey Kong Jr. was in the game,
Heck yeah.
and
That's
Koopa.
like probably the last.
Oh, what?
Is that like the last like last appearance of Donkey Kong Jr.?
Yeah, assuming he didn't like grow up to become Donkey Kong himself or something like that.
Well,
He's the Donkey Kong
I feel like
you've come to. He's in
like
Rabbids.
since when do you grow up? Since when do you grow up and then lose your junior name?
He was
Well,
tired
maybe
of
you
being
just don't call
called
him, you know?
Junior, man. He
Yeah.
was sick of it. He's sick of it.
Does he look like the kind of monkey that would get tired of being called Junior?
yes, he
Seriously,
does.
Casey, are you?
Absolutely.
Oh, please, you're a fool.
I'm looking at his amiibo right now. And if you called
Okay.
him Junior, he'd
You know what,
punch you
Case?
right in the mouth.
Hey, Donkey Kong doesn't punch anyone in the mouth.
Yeah, you tell that to
Punches him straight in the
King
chest.
Cruel. K. Rule.
K. Rule. Yeah.
All right. K. Rule, because he's cruel.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing is, there's no item boxes things that
They
you
were all on the
run them
ground.
over. Yeah. Yep. So, which is, I'm sure, but the game plays. It's really fun. You can still play it, and that's why I really wanted to. That's why I really wanted to get into it because, it's a fun little game. You know, like there. It's challenging and it's still impressive. Like it still plays really good. So I would highly recommend it. I don't want to go too on more about it because we got a lot to talk about today. But
Real quick
good.
before you wrap that up, it's really slippery, right? Like compared to
Yes.
modern Mario Karts.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it still has the drifting. You know, like it's been in it from the beginning, and learning it is a whole new beast. But it's fun. It's great.
Yeah, even quicker before you move on. I really appreciate that the tracks were pretty much all based on Super Mario World, because they haven't really tied in a Mario Kart game to like the corresponding Mario game on the system since Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
You're
they
right.
had the Choco Island. They had like vanilla, the vanilla world, the vanilla dome world, and
Donut Plains.
Yeah.
Donut Plains was its own thing. I really appreciated
Yes.
that about the first Super
Man, I
Mario
wish
Kart.
I could live in Donut Plains.
Go for a
That sounds
donut.
like heaven. Oh man. Yes. Yeah. Very fun game, and I'm glad you guys got it. Like I said, don't you think like when you think like of a mystery history like Super Mario Kart, I'm like, man, they could get it in like 3 questions. Like I always feel, and I'm always worried. But now it's kind of like, you know what? If they do get it in 3 questions, that's like good for them. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like
I felt a
it's,
lot better though after like you barely made Super Metroid.
I-
Last time when I did it.
I think if we had started off with, is it Super Nintendo? Is Mario in it? Is it a racing game? Maybe we would have gotten it.
yeah,
but,
all of a sudden,
oh.
like,
Exactly.
is it Diddy Kong
Because that-
Racing? Ah, damn it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is it
Well,
F-Zero?
it's so funny. I know it's so funny because like I assume that's how it's gonna go, but then it's like, okay, we're on question 5 and we just figured out it's on Super Nintendo.
When there are
You know,
that many
so-
systems to work with, then yeah, it could take a while.
Yeah, maybe we
Yeah.
shouldn't add the Wii U to the mix. It's only going to make things worse.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we are gonna end this what we've been playing segment with the game that we've all been playing and loving to death, or at least I know me and Casey have. And I think Alex
I have been playing, if we're talking about the game that we just
And that's where we lost all of our listeners.
No, I'm looking at the notes here, and all I wrote was the lyrics to Arms. When,
That's really all we need for this
Yeah.
segment.
And that's going to
That's all
wrap
you
up
need.
what we've been playing.
Yeah. Yes, Arms. This beautiful game that came out for the Switch. I think this is kind of like the Switch's. It's kind of like the first big exclusive, right? If you think about it.
Yeah, because you've got Breath of the Wild on Wii U, and you've got obviously Mario Kart on
8.
Wii U, so brand new IP.
well,
I mean,
we're forgetting 1-2 Switch. That was clearly its biggest title.
ooh, yeah, that is true. I don't want to sell 1-2 Switch short.
That poor game.
But
that poor game.
now let me ask you, Alex, when you first saw Arms on the, back in January when they showed it off, were you on board
Nope,
originally?
not
or-
at all.
Okay, so you were you against it? Like, oh, this is gonna be bad, or
I wasn't against it, but I was like, because they started off with that, or that might have been the second game. So I was looking at it and I was like, okay, it sort of looks like Wii Boxing. Why are they doing that again? And like, why are we doing motion controls again? And it didn't look like a game that I necessarily wanted. But I mean, the characters from the get-go, they looked great. So I always had that inkling that if it turns out being good, I'll probably get it just based on, the characters alone, because they look like good fighting game characters.
Right. They're fantastic.
Yeah, but no, I did not. I did not think that it was going to be good.
all right.
Yeah.
Boing.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, I was hook,
Yeah.
line, and sinker when we saw this. I was all aboard, and
See, when I saw it, I was all aboard too, but I did not think, I did not know. Okay, this is all this is. All this is like one-on-one fighting, and they're just kind of punching. Like, is this really like a retail game, or is it really did seem to me like a $20 eShop game. When I first saw it, that was my first impression. I was like, this looks fun. This looks like a little project that Nintendo's doing, a little thing, and then it just kind of kept expanding and expanding, and then,
yeah.
it kept coming out. And I don't know. I mean, why don't we get into? I mean, how do you feel about the content of the game?
I think. Oh yeah, Alex, why don't you
amount.
take this,
Okay.
Alex?
I was just gonna say that I think that I think the content's pretty solid. I like the game, and I like the mechanics of the Arms and how deep everything gets. And how there's like a robust online mode. Like party mode is really fun too, as is ranked.
Fantastic.
I think for this game and any fighting game really, the only way that you can make it worth it is if you get really hardcore into the fighting, into like multiplayer fighting. Because
Right.
the single player, excuse me, the Grand Prix single player I like the challenge. It's fun, but you know, it's not $60 worth of fun for me per se. And the multiplayer, obviously adds to that. But I'm not as big on multiplayer or into hardcore fighting games as, a lot of other people who play that or other games like Street Fighter. So I don't think that, I think that the game itself is worth it to hardcore fighting game enthusiasts or someone who wants to try something new with either motion or fighting. But, like as far as, single player content, which is usually what I base the full price on for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it doesn't feel like a complete package that, that I would have gotten if it were in, Nintendo's next, big Switch game and I bought into the hype and stuff like that, So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the game and I really respect all the mechanics that go into it. But as far as like a retail price tag goes, if it weren't Nintendo, I would not have bought this game.
Sure. And I think that what you're talking about, how I think the online is the biggest. Like, if you can do online and if you're all in, then this is like this is a really worthwhile purchase.
For sure.
Which is what and also if you have someone like a wife, or a brother or a sister or whatever that you can play with, it's perfect. And surprisingly, this game has been for me. I don't think I've had this much fun playing a game with my wife than any other game. I mean, we have just completely, it's like out of nowhere. Like, my wife doesn't like playing Animal Crossing. She likes Animal Crossing, but she gets stressed at the thought of doing all the chores. Like, it kind of gets overwhelming. And to think of that, and then she's like totally all in on ARMS, like kicking butt online, like with me. Like, it's crazy. And I never would have thought this game would have done that. And I think that just, the charming aesthetic, the relative simplicity of the idea of the game. She started off with the motion controls, but then after she burned like 300 calories in 5 minutes, I convinced her the next time to use normal controls. And I think she liked it a lot better. And I'm telling you, it has been so much fun. Just getting into a party, the party system is to me, the party system is the most genius thing I've ever seen in one of these games, and I hope it comes to all of Nintendo, all of online games infrastructure ideas. The idea of you're in a party with up to, we've had up to like at least 12 people in a party sometimes, and everyone's doing their own thing, and then you switch off and then you play a different match, and you're all doing. It's just so cool, and it's seamless. You get to see what's going on. You can even like see like who's taking damage and stuff, while you're on the screen waiting. And I did notice that like if you're playing like a 2v2 or a 1v1, like a 3-way match, if you die, you can actually exit the match.
Yes.
And then go on, and just join something else, which is, I think, is probably even better. If you don't want to spectate, I think you'll get into a match faster. I think that they'll like that because sometimes you keep doing the same matches with someone, and then you guys are done at the same time, and then you're all three waiting there for other things, like instead of, I think the game wants to mix you up with other people, but it's like, you're all done at the same time, so you're just waiting, and yeah. So.
I was gonna say, yeah, I love the party system, how it works, especially when, it would be so boring if like we're playing just 1v1 match after match after match, and like sure maybe they'd throw in a skill shot or a hoops or something every once in a while, but
yeah,
probably
right. Throwing a hoops every 300 out of 300 games.
I was just gonna say, or more likely volleyball, because they seem to love to throw a volleyball at you. But no, I think it keeps it fresh.
I get skill shot more.
Especially skill shots amazing. But
they're all amazing. I
like
love
the
them all.
volleyball
But yeah,
game.
Volleyball's
I
my
love the
my
volleyball
least
game.
favorite. I mean, not to
It's probably my least favorite, but I like it.
not to say I don't like it, but it's definitely like, give me hoops for Christ's sake. But
Yeah, hoops. I know, it's so fun.
hoops is the best.
Hoops.
But yeah, I've been
Yeah.
just surprised at my sister has really been enjoying it, which I would not have expected. She's been like wanting to play every day. I had a buddy just pick up a Switch, and he's not like traditionally a Nintendo gamer or anything, but he picked up Arms. He was like, yeah, I can't wait to play Arms. I was like man, I didn't think it would have that kind of appeal to people who weren't really in the thick of it, but
Right.
it seems to be doing very well and getting pretty rave reviews.
Alex, didn't you walk by people that were playing it?
Yes. So this was awesome. So like the other day, I was walking out of a restaurant, and then I saw, probably like 5 or 6 kids. They were gathered around the picnic table. The Switch is in tabletop mode, just lying there, and they're all playing Arms, like sharing the Joy-Con controllers and stuff.
That's
it was
amazing.
amazing.
And this
It's the
wasn't
trailer for Nintendo.
like they weren't filming for a trailer. Yeah,
No, I don't think
that-
there was a filming.
That's like
but-
the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
Was this on
Like,
a rooftop by
even if they're-
chance?
Yeah.
I
What
wish.
kind of restaurant? Do you go to really trendy restaurants?
No, it wasn't trendy, but yeah, it was really cool. And they were talking like really loud, like I'm using Ninjara, and they were like, they were just really excited about it. And I was just like, my wife was the one who says like, she saw the Switch, the neon Joy-Con, and she was like, hey, they're playing Switch. I was like, oh. And then so like, I casually stroll around them and stare at what they're playing at.
Yeah.
And I see they're playing Arms, and I was like, no way, because Arms just came out. That means that there are
That is
kids
so-
playing Arms outside on picnic tables in handheld mode. It's like, it's the trailer that I saw.
And under
This is reality.
and under
I know,
Alex's
right?
breath, you could
Is
hear
life
him.
real?
Look
Huh?
at these scrubs. Kick their ass.
Yeah.
I thought about bringing my Switch out, but I was like, no, they're like young kids. I don't want my.
That's just
Hey
That's
guys,
assault.
get away
Yeah.
from us, you pervert!
Hey, you want to see a real Switch?
And on that note, I think we're gonna wrap up what we've been playing. We're gonna take a quick little breather, and when we come back, we're gonna get right on into the old eShop.
Giddy up.
Alrighty, and we are back, and let's get into the old eShop Roundup.
The eShop Roundup.
Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Yeah, so we need to get through a lot of stuff because we think we missed the past 2 weeks because of all the, the electronic entertainment expos going on.
Stupid
So,
E3.
Oh, what is that thing with the 3 E's on it?
that's it. It's
A
what it
waste of
stands for.
time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I would so much rather. I mean, honestly, PAX is more my thing. I like for going, for who like. I feel like PAX would be more enjoyable than E3. I heard there's a lot of lines on E3, but anyway, that aside, we're gonna get into the Wii U downloads, and there are 3 games here. The first one is Mutant Alien Moles of the Dead. And it's $2.99. And it's a whack-a-mole game. It's a whack-a-mole game with mutant alien moles. And you have to stop them from invading your world. So, and it also has like a weird Game & Watch platforming level. I don't know. I think they like Nintendo. It's a nice thing. Also, I loved in the description it says a colorful, carefree world.
After that name, too.
And mutant alien moles of the dead, a colorful, carefree world. Like, what the heck?
Can I just say, like, mutant, alien, and dead? Like, which one is it? What are the moles? You can't be all 3. They're
Oh.
different things. They're all
I guess
different.
you're right. Well, they could have. That's true.
And they're colorful and carefree.
Yeah. No, the
As all
world
moles are.
Yeah. But moving on, we got Cubit, the hardcore platformer robot, high definition HD. Is what it says.
Ooh.
Now this game is it's on the 3DS, I believe, right? I know I've heard of this before, and it's $4.99, and I know it's a platforming game. I didn't really look too much into it, but I remember it when it came out. The people were kind of okay about it, and I think is it's like an indie game that I don't know. Have you guys heard of Cubit?
No, I'm looking at the screenshots and they look meh. I don't know.
It
I don't know
sounds-
how HD it is.
It sounds hardcore
Yeah.
though, I have to say.
Cubit.
I assume it's a
I don't know.
platformer as well.
Yeah, there's probably some robots.
They let you know
But,
right up front what they've got to offer though, so that's nice.
Yep.
Hardcore platformer, baby, with
Now,
robots.
speaking of hardcore platformer with robots, next up we have Cars 3: Driven to Win.
Game of the
now-
year.
Yes, yes. This is on Switch as well, which we will find out coming up. But this one is $49.99, and the screenshots are the same. So the screenshots that are on the eShop are not like
They don't look
they're
like
like-
in-game.
no. So yeah, it's really weird. But it looks like a pretty game though from whatever those shots are. I mean, I'm assuming it's a racing game. That's just a safe,
Yep.
or maybe
Category racing.
yeah. Cars 3.
Is it Mario
might be-
Kart? Super Mario Kart?
Yeah.
If you don't like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, boy, do we have
Yeah.
a game for you.
Yeah. Like technically, if we would have allowed Wii U games, I could have done this one for Mystery History. But
This
see,
game has such a vibrant history, having just
Yeah.
come out.
And you save
Having-
$10 getting it, snagging it from the Wii U instead of
Yep,
the Switch.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
Worth it.
But Alex, can you please talk to us about the Wii U Virtual Console?
The Wii U Virtual Console is getting 2 games, both of them from the TurboGrafx 16. The first game is Alien Crush, which is a pinball game with superb biomechanical graphics.
You know what this looks like? Honestly, it looks like Super Metroid Pinball. Like, Metroid
Like
Prime
Metroid
Pinball?
Prime Pinball?
This seriously, yeah, but I'm saying it looks like Super Metroid Pinball. It actually looks like really cool, and like I didn't know this game existed, and it's funny, like it even talks about in the description that how real it feels, like you're playing on a real table. Like, what? Like this is like a TurboGrafx game.
Immersive,
it's-
man.
yeah.
Immersive.
It looks cool though. Like like I didn't know they did that kind of stuff. Like way back then. So really cool. I don't know. Biomechanical
graphics.
Superb
Superb.
biomechanical graphics. So
Yeah, so that's Alien Crush. Then, also for the TurboGrafx 16, Newtopia 2, which is a Zelda-like action RPG. And as much as I'd like to make fun of this game, I've actually played through the entire thing.
Oh really?
Yes, I played through Newtopia 1 and 2 on Virtual Console.
What in
for
the
the Wii.
world?
I know, right? So
How is
And
it?
do you like them?
I'm glad it's finally coming to to Wii U Virtual Console. I did like them, but I would say they're not as special as like obviously like the Zelda games or
Okay.
Secret of Mana. Like I think it's most similar to like Secret of Mana.
Okay.
It's you go through 6 or 8 dungeons and you level up, you power up, and you fight in
it's
action
pretty.
RPG style. It's pretty fun. I'd say Newtopia 2 is definitely the better of the two, Newtopia games. And yeah, it's really not as bad. Like if you're looking for something like Zelda and you've played every other Zelda and Mana game and ever Oasis, then Newtopia 2 is like on the Wii Virtual Console, waiting to be
dust
bought.
off that gamepad.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
only it was a Neo Geo game, then it could also be on the Switch.
I know. I wish Neo Geo games would have games like this. You know?
All they have is
Man.
fighters and shooters.
I know that. I wish they had more platformers and stuff, but
Well, one day
Whatevs.
we're gonna get the Virtual Console. Knock on wood. But moving right along to the 3DS download, we've got a plethora of items here. Farming Simulator 18 for $29.99. It's a game where you simulate farming. The next one on the docket here is Anime Workshop. That one retails for $7.99. And the quote we've got here, "Let's make animation easily with characters written by yourself."
yeah.
Alrighty.
I don't
I like
know.
anime.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can actually make animations. Like, it's not just designing. It's weird. Like, it looked like you could design the pixels and looks of everything, but then I don't know if they actually have characters for you that you can use to make animations with. It's weird, but whatever. I think it had like 2 out of 5 stars on the eShop.
Wow.
So if
High
that's
praise.
Any indication?
Most
Yeah,
people just
but-
give 4s and 5s to everything on the 3DS eShop, so that's a surprise.
Then we have Metroid Samus Returns announcement trailer retailing at $0, but it is in nice, beautiful 3D. I have not actually checked that out. I want to though.
Yes, I wanted to include this because I think it's important that you can see that. Although it doesn't seem to run at like 30 or 60 frames per second. Like, you know what I mean? So like it has the 3D and you can see it, but it doesn't look like in-game footage. So it's kind of a letdown in that kind of sense, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks like it's streaming, if that makes sense. Like that kind of a look. But it is cool though. Like, I cannot wait. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should watch it again. But yeah, it's still totally should download it and look at it. So
Let me
I'll need
take
to watch that too.
take a sip of water before I start this next game.
yes.
Okay.
I am in air traffic controller Airport Hero Osaka Kicks for $19.99.
Oh my gosh. Do we need to save you? Do you need help?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Kicks
Are you
is
trapped?
Kansai International Airport. So that's an airport on the ocean built on an artificial island. And I
Yeah,
guess this is another one of those crazy, weird simulation games people keep making, and I guess people keep buying if they keep on making them.
Yeah. I am an air traffic controller. All those, like am an air traffic controller. Those are all lowercase, like in the official title. And then it's Airport Hero Osaka Kicks.
Then
in
it goes
bold.
all caps and bold.
All caps, yes. So it's just whatever, man.
I love the bullet points here. Kicks with 2 runways is a busy airport that operates 24 hours a day, full of international airplanes in the day and as an airline hub for international cargo flights at night.
Okay.
Story mode is best for your first try.
Okay, thanks.
Alrighty, moving along. We've got River City Knights of Justice for $14.99. Another River City game. I've never really gotten into them, but
Yeah, me neither.
I know people usually hold them in pretty high esteem.
Yeah, I like River City Ransom.
I still haven't yet to play that.
Knights of Justice might be for you then.
Yeah, Knights of Justice
potentially.
might be the game to start with.
Yeah.
Then.
The magical land of Riverandia. See?
It's in a state of
River City.
turmoil.
It's Riverandia. Yeah, in a state of turmoil.
So wait, so it's a magical land now? Because I know like all those old River
it's
City
a medieval game.
Kunio games were all like, they took place on the streets and
Right,
with
that's
gangs.
the point. It's like it's kind of like Ninja Turtles 3 Turtles in Time. It's like River City Knights of Justice.
That sounds pretty interesting.
I mean, it looks nice. I'm looking at the screenshots. Nice pixelated art style for
Little
you.
sprite guys, so. Yep.
And then rounding out the 3DS download with a physical release as well. And now this has been a very long-awaited game. I remember when this had like a launch date for a very long time ago. Finally, Runbow Pocket is available for $14.99. It is available physically, and that, if I am reading this correctly, actually has more content, Barry, than the digital.
I think the physical runs you $30. I'm assuming. I need to check that out, but so it's twice as expensive, you know. But I think I might want to check on that. But it might be 40, it might be 20. I don't know. It might be 25. I think it's 30 though. That would make sense. But it has a lot of more content. It has like the original single player campaign. It has all the It has the DLC pack that was added. And there's two other things that a pretty fair amount of content added. When you buy it physical, so I think it might be a download card that you get in it or something. But I thought that's a cool way to handle things. You know, to encourage physical or digital sales. You know, so I'm assuming you can get all of the stuff that you get in the physical one digitally too. I mean, obviously they wouldn't let you not pay for that, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. All right, and it's time. We're gonna round out the eShop Roundup with. We're gonna round out the Roundup with Switch.
Yahoo!
Woo, yeah. Now
Heavy load right here.
Man, yes. Real quick, we got the Neo Geo Shock Troopers second squad for $7.99, and this comes in at 110 megabytes. This is just one of those co-op. You can play co-op action. It's like an action game, run and gun. Shock Troopers. You know.
A run and gun game for the Neo Geo? Are you kidding me?
I can't. No, I'm not.
Next thing you know, they'll have a fighting game.
I know. And then a random golf game.
Dude, that golf game is awesome.
It looks good.
I know. I'm telling you, when they have a sale, I'm gonna be buying a lot of Neo Geo games. It's just where it's like, I know they're gonna have a sale. So anyway, next up we have Shantae Half Genie Hero, that came out pretty randomly at $19.99, like a couple weeks ago, a week ago. 1.6 gigabytes. Have you guys played this game at all?
Not yet. But
On
now that it's
other
on the
platforms?
Switch, I'm probably going to play it because I've always wanted to play, Half Genie Hero.
Yeah.
I've never played a Shantae game, and I want to, but it's just a matter of finding the time at this point. And
Right.
Maybe one day.
Yep. I played Pirate's Curse, and I really liked it. I mean, it's not my favorite game, but I liked it. It's a solid 7.58 game, so it's good. So I'll probably wait for a sale on this one too. But I mean, $19.99, it's a pretty dang good deal.
Yeah.
And I know that there's some DLC coming out too, and I think it might be coming physically to the Switch, like in the future.
Yeah, I think so.
Which that is appealing. So
I might wait for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now next up, it returns. Cars 3, Driven to Win, but it has the
In the night sky.
it has the infamous $10
The Switch tax.
Switch tax.
To play it on the better system.
It's true.
Wait, is it $50 for all of the other platforms as well, or just Wii U?
I don't know.
Because I could see them being like,
Yeah.
I didn't do my
No one-
Cars 3 Driven to Win research.
because I was gonna say I don't think anyone's like foaming at the bit to buy it on Wii U. Although I bet you there's probably actually surprised. I bet you people who own
I think
Wii
the
U might
whole-
want to play, but I figure
I think
maybe
the
they
whole,
just discounted it to try and help it sell better on that system, instead
Right.
of more so bumping it up on the Switch.
I mean, the Cars series, I think, is around because of its merchandising,
Yeah.
That even just in concept. So it makes so much sense that it's out even on Wii U because they can just stretch that as far as they can. So
I mean, they still make Just Dance games on the Wii, so.
yeah, and they sell better than all the rest,
Yes, they
right?
do.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I know. We are on the Switch now, and there's still Wii games coming out. It's amazing. Yes, but moving on, another Neo Geo game, Sengoku, and $7.99, 77 megabytes. You play as a ninja. Oh no, this is right from the thing. This is amazing. Play as a ninja or a cowboy and fight against ghosts that came back to life from troubled times.
Exclamation point.
Yeah, that is what they want you to know about the game. You can fight against ghosts that came back to life from troubled times. So, sold.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm still torn up between a ninja or a cowboy. Like they must play super differently then.
Right.
What?
Troubled times.
It's amazing. I know. I need to check that game out actually. But moving on. You all know and love Mighty Number 9. You all know and love Azure Striker Gunvolt. Well, what if you slapped them together and made it like an old Mega Man game? You get Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Woo-wee! $9.99. Only 33 megabytes. Which is it's impressive. That's pretty dang impressive. Now, I bought this game. I'll be talking about it next week. It's good. So, I'll leave it at that if any of you have anything to say about it.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
well, you'll hear about it next week. But the last two games, we have ARMS.
And anyone that stuck around after that first performance have now
gone.
exited the building.
They're gone.
Now, yeah.
Yes.
Their ears exploded.
Well, good, because if they're gonna leave for that, then they should leave. It's at 2.2 gigs. It's not that big of a game. It's nice.
Nope.
It's the first fighting game of its kind.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Nintendo.
I believe it.
I'll agree with that. And remember, of course, it's available physically, which I got physically. Did you guys?
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, good. Smart people. I mean, the box art is just
Yeah.
it's so nice. Now, last up, speaking of games available physically, Cave Story Plus for $29.99.
I got
at
it.
137 megabytes. Casey has it. Alex, do you have it?
I do not. I'm still trying to beat Cave Story from when it came out on the DS. So.
I've
Dude,
never
me
played
too,
Cave Story.
but I've given up on that version, and I ordered Cave Story Plus.
Yep, I've never played a Cave Story, but I tell you what, I love that Nicholas. How do you Nicholas?
I've always thought it was Nicholas.
They're doing physical right. They've been adding these nice little manuals, with beautiful artwork inside of them, and it just really just makes me want to purchase their games even more. And this one comes with a little CD, with all the music, or not all the music, but like a
little GameCube disc.
And it's so funny. I saw the bonus saying that it was coming with those things, and I just didn't put two and two together that the Switch cases are so tiny that they wouldn't be able to hold a normal size disc. So they've just got the cutest little GameCube size disc.
Aww.
It's the
Dude,
nostalgia.
Imagine if GameCube, those old cases were Switch size. That would be amazing.
They really should have been,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
the disc fits actually pretty perfectly right in here. If they, if you
Heck
had
yeah.
like the little indentation, weren't the Japanese GameCube boxes similar sizes?
I think they were. I think so.
Us Americans
so.
have to waste dang old plastic.
Does the
But-
CD work on your GameCube?
I don't know. I'll have to test that out later.
No, it doesn't.
But it's the
we will
right
be hearing
size.
about that game next week, I'm sure. Cave Story Plus.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll do it for the monstrous, probably biggest we've ever had yet, eShop Roundup.
The eShop Roundup.
Wow.
Give me them cows. Okay.
Moo.
Oh. Thank you, Alex.
Moo moo moo.
Whoa.
Good lord.
Best theme ever.
We're still on an E3 high, everyone. That's
I
that's
know.
what I'm going to use as the excuse for
We're
this
still
one.
we're still smoking that E3 doobie. So anyway, speaking of smoking, E3 doobies.
Speaking
hold
of
on, I want
doobies,
for
let's-
that. Share some of that, Perry.
I'll throw it over there.
All right.
Let's get into some news talk.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Speaking of doobies, Level 5 is trying to bring Layton series over to the Switch. Now, the CEO and the Layton producer, Akihiro Hino, which, if I don't say so myself, that was probably the greatest pronunciation I've ever had on a Japanese
good job,
name.
buddy.
10 out of 10.
That was good.
That was a good one. He quote saying, "I played Zelda. I love the Switch. I think it's amazing hardware. The problem is the Layton series does have a lot with the touchscreen and pointing. So the problem with the Switch is if you play on handheld, you can do it. But if you put it in the dock, we're trying to figure out how that would play into it." So that's sort of encouraging, I think, for Layton fans because obviously they're thinking about it. I think they could probably have a pretty
I think
easy
that's an
solution.
Easy solution
'Cause they
with a
could-
cursor.
Yeah, I was gonna say they could do something similar to what World of Goo did.
Yeah.
So it seems like
that
if
too.
they put their heads to it, they can get through it.
Or I don't know,
Yeah.
they could come up with puzzles that don't require the touchscreen. I mean, don't they have a puzzle master?
Yeah, I mean that or we've seen handheld only games. I mean, granted, I think it was only one of them, but they could just be like, hey, if you want to play this game, it's got to be in handheld,
And no one would care. No
Yeah.
one would care. So
That or even if it probably wouldn't be super nice to look at, but even if you got up to a puzzle, it was like, hey, this requires a touchscreen, remove from the dock,
yeah, not a big deal. I mean, they wouldn't do that, but yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they can definitely
But-
get around it.
Honestly, speaking of smoking doobies, this next piece of news.
Oh
amazing.
my god, I know. Yeah, Alex, why don't you take this one?
The Xbox Live is on the Switch?
Very good.
order
yes.
So in order to place your cross-network, the cross-play, right, for Minecraft?
Cross-platform.
Yeah, the cross-platform play. For Minecraft Realms, I think. You must make an Xbox Live account.
Amazing.
Bum, bum, bum.
And I was just thinking, how funny is it that we're going to see a prompt on the Nintendo Switch to make an Xbox Live account before Nintendo's online is even a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
You're right. That is insane. That's amazing. Wow. I have no words.
Yeah.
Now, just for people out there, if you do play Minecraft, you don't need to pay for Xbox Live Gold. You just need to make an account, and that's free, so you won't have to pay to play. You'll have to make an account to log on to the servers. So I think when I mentioned that to you, Perry, it was like, I'm going to have to pay for that? Like, what the heck?
Well, no, I was just thinking, how funny would it be if I have to pay for Xbox? I was thinking, hey, that's actually a pretty good little scheme you got going, Microsoft.
Yeah,
release your games on other platforms, but make them pay for your online to use them.
Phil Spencer is rolling in the money,
Yeah, very good. Now I
Now-
think we're gonna keep passing this doobie around because Sushi Striker: The Way of the Sushido was announced on Treehouse Live, and this game looks fun. It's like this. You eat sushi and fling the plates at your competitor on the other screen. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Oh, yeah. I definitely saw the opening.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I just remember I was driving home when this announcement went out, and I'm like, oh man, maybe we're gonna get one of those hey, here's a brand new game you never heard of, and it's coming out, And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
cool, I'd totally be down for that. Then I started seeing the Sushi Striker. I was like, that's weird. And it's got a 2018 release date, man. The 3DS
Dude, it
will
wasn't
never
even
die.
in English. I know.
It will never die.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you put that in here, but Nintendo said that they have planned releases beyond 2018.
Woo! I can't
3DS
wait, dude. It's
living
gonna be like the
forever.
Wii, except it's gonna get good games instead of Just Dance.
Yeah, like Metroids. Oh man, like, dude, what if they announce a Super Metroid remake for 3DS? See, now we've opened up that realm of ideas that we could do. So,
I'm in.
oh boy. All right. Well, next up, ARMS DLC. This is fun. If you've played it, Max Brass is in your game now. He's the champion at the end of the.
Spoilers.
You just ruined
Of the
ARMS
thing.
for me.
Yeah.
It's so not a spoiler at all because I don't know.
says the one who spoiled it.
Yeah.
I'm
Just because you know doesn't mean you have to brag about it.
But I mean, it's like it's not even like it's like like I don't get it. Like there's nothing special about it. It's not a spoiler.
I don't know.
It's just a character.
Have you seen those arms made out of championship belts?
No.
Haven't you fought him?
Yeah, I'm
You've
trying to
been
think.
you were spoiled, Perry.
Yeah.
You spoiled yourself.
Yeah.
No, Casey just spoiled.
Yeah, you're spoiled, son.
Dang it, Casey. No, but yeah, he's gonna be a playable in the July update, and I think that's free, right?
Yep.
Free updates. Did you
And then
mention the June update?
yeah, and then sometime this month we're gonna get the spectator mode, which that sounds cool. I think it.
Yeah.
I think
Honestly,
that'll be
like-
nice for those party modes when everyone else is in a match and you're sort of just sitting in the lobby. It'll be nice to be like, well, let me just jump in and see what they're doing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I assume they'll have some way to, bet on who's winning with the coins you have, right?
That would
Maybe.
be really cool. I'd
Yeah,
like
that
that
would make
idea.
I would love that. And honestly, it also could be something where, let's say I'm like I'm working on something, or I'm eating, but I'm hanging out with like friends. We're on Skype and stuff, and it's like I'll just sit and watch. Like that's to me like that's totally practical.
He'll
that
be
idea,
like,
so.
man, I want to learn how to actually play this game. I'm just going to spectate Casey's matches. I'm just kidding. I'm terrible at arms.
I do enough
think-
spectating when I lose at 1v1v1.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know exactly. Cool. Well, let's keep moving on. This is somewhat of a weird announcement. Why don't you take it, Case?
All right, so as we all know, Monster Hunter Double Cross was announced for the Switch in Japan, and I guess going around the rumor mill is that that it's not going to be localized for America, and and of course we saw Monster Hunter Worlds announced for PS4 and Xbox One at E3, and obviously nothing for Switch, so it's just sort of like it seems like Monster Hunter sort of in limbo for the Switch owners in America. It's sort of like like what's going on here? We've been spoiled with a bunch of Monster Hunter games on the 3DS. We want to finally play that portable HD, Monster Hunter, and it doesn't seem likely at the moment. But then the Capcom Twitter actually, I was like, man, that sounded so New York. They tweeted out, just to clarify, our official response is we have not announced any plans to localize Monster Hunter Double Cross at this time. So that sort of seems to me like we're probably going to get Double Cross eventually, but, they just don't want to talk about it right now.
So we're getting double crossed.
Double Cross.
Oh.
Nice. And on top of that, no Monster Hunter Worlds for Switch.
Yeah.
But
I don't really know anything
that's
about that game.
because
so.
they're waiting for a Monster Hunter 5, right, Capcom? Right?
Yeah,
Don't you
I've
love
heard a
your
lot.
fans?
Oh, dude, 5 is totally Switch.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I
that's the
mean,
thing. I heard,
Totally.
I haven't gotten too much into the rumors, but I know there were rumors going around that Capcom and Sony had some sort of exclusive deal to keep, Monster Hunter off the Switch in America, and that they were supposed to get, like, the next main line, and then Capcom was looking at it, and they were like, I don't know if we want to put, Monster Hunter 5 on the PS4, and that's why it's changed to Monster Hunter Worlds instead of, the numbered, 5th one that everyone's looking forward to. So, I don't know. Capcom's
Interesting.
been sort of weird. I think it's just gonna have to be a wait and see kind of
Yeah,
situation.
Capcom has been really weird on Switch.
Just give me goddamn freaking Resident Evil on Switch. Come on, man. What are we waiting for?
No.
It's killing
Beautiful
me.
Joe 3. Beautiful Joe 3.
This is really
Okay.
This is really disappointing as a Monster Hunter fan because the portables, 3DS is exactly why I got into it. It was easy to play on the go, to hunt monsters,
Yeah.
do missions, and I was thinking Switch would be perfect. So once Double Cross was announced, I was like,
It's
it
absolutely
is the best.
perfect.
It is. Yeah, they already do that kind of stuff with the Wii U and 3DS. Like they have crossplay
Yeah, like the
between
cross-platform.
Monster Hunter
Yes.
3 Ultimate, and I was like, well, it will be perfect for Switch because it's already docked and handheld. So for them to not, if they did not have Monster Hunter 5, that would be not only a blow to Nintendo fans who were following Monster Hunter, or Monster Hunter fans who had Nintendo systems, but just like I don't think it would be a good business decision because it will sell gangbusters on the Switch.
Oh, it's so coming. It's so coming.
Yeah, and just I want
I
to
know it
see
is.
those monsters in HD. Oh, it looks so good on the go. Come on, Capcom.
But speaking of HD monsters on the go,
Yes.
Alex, why don't you grab this one?
So just to clarify, Perry was just talking about HD monsters on the go. Dragon Ball
Yep.
Fighter Z developer says no Switch version. Says that there's no Switch version, but it's not due to a lack of power. And they're open to porting if fans show interest. So yeah, there's like this thing going, I think, on Twitter where people are retweeting to show interest or.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen Reddit posts and,
Yeah.
and Twitter posts and all sorts of stuff. So, ironically, I have not seen the trailer for Dragon Ball Fighter Z, but I have seen all the
Me
hubbub
neither.
about it.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
But
excited
that's-
about Dragon Ball Fighter Z as a huge Dragon Ball fan.
Are you a huge Dragon Ball fan?
Huh?
Did you say you're a huge Dragon Ball
I
fan?
am a huge Dragon Ball
Oh,
fan.
okay.
So I think that game looks amazing. It's very faithful to a lot of anime scenes from the show, and it pretty much looks like the Marvel versus Capcom version of Dragon Ball, and I think that's an amazing thing. And if
Yeah.
the Switch were to
Awesome.
get it, I'd be so happy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the trailer now. It actually looks really, really nice. I like the
Yeah.
art style. Now I have a question for you. Let's say they do announce that it's coming out to this Switch, but it's going to be, let's say months later. Is that something you'd hold out for on the Switch, or would you dive down on a PS4 or what have you?
It really depends on when it comes out and what else is available because I have a lot of other Switch games to plow through as well. So I'd probably wait for it on the Switch if they announced it before the other versions came out. But if not, I'd probably just dive into the the other console versions. The thing about the Switch is it is getting a Dragon Ball game. It's getting Xenoverse 2, which had to come out on PS4 and I think Xbox like months ago. So Switch is already getting a late Dragon Ball game.
Well, I guess a late Dragon Ball is better than no Dragon Ball,
Yeah. Agreed.
as they say. Now,
That is
This-
that is a saying around his parts.
this next game we've been waiting around for quite some time, and I know a lot of people thought, hey, Pikmin might have actually been Pikmin 4. I never believed that, but I know people jump to conclusions. But according to Miyamoto, he said that Pikmin 4 is still progressing, which is a little ironic because I remember him saying like, hey, like it's pretty much almost done. So. I don't know if maybe he was jumping the gun back then, or if maybe they looked at it and they're retooling it, or adding more or whatnot.
I mean, it was a Wii U game, and then they made it for Switch. So that's what I'm assuming.
But yeah, that'll be exciting when it comes.
That's good. No, I mean that's good because that kind of finally ends the no. Hey, Pikmin is not Pikmin 4. So that's good. Now there is a big Switch firmware update 3.0.
Yes.
And I wasn't aware of this really, but apparently you can pull friends from your Wii U and 3DS friends lists.
That's a nice feature.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I guess they'll have to be. It's kind of all convoluted with the Nintendo account stuff, but I guess they'll have to have Switches then, and I guess that's.
Yeah, they need to have a Switch.
I'm assuming.
They won't appear if they don't have a Switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? How like I could see it if it was just their Nintendo account, how you could have Switches, friends, whatever. Enables support for USB keyboards while it's docked. That's cool. Weird that it's not. You can't do Bluetooth keyboards. That'd be cool. But also the Pro controller can also be used as a wired USB controller. But the NFC reader is disabled when you do it like that. But still, does that make the the pressing quicker? Like you know what I'm saying, right? The input lag. Is that what that helps with, or?
I'm not sure, but I'd imagine it would be. You know,
Yeah.
if you're plugged in, that input lag's not going to be, probably going to be there at all. You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of a huge deal for when Smash comes out or any fighting game people, right?
Well, we're
there
going to get
something-
our GameCube controller adapter. So
You think? Yeah, we will.
That-
Well, it'll be the same
for Smash,
It'll be the same
they
thing.
will. I mean,
Well, yeah. Now that they already have the whole thing, they can just they'll make it so you can use the Wii U one, and they'll come out with another one.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I wonder if
It's
what they were
USB,
doing
so.
with this is that apparently you can use the Pokken tournament pad with the Switch now too.
Yeah, for Pokken, right?
Yeah. So
I
maybe
think
they
it
were
acts as
planning
a
ahead
Pro
for that
controller,
one.
right?
No, no.
I don't think
you can't
so.
use it for any other games.
You
You
sure?
should be able to, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know that as
It's
a 100%
possible.
fact since
I haven't tried it. I
Yeah.
should try it.
But also it fixed this update fixed some of the issues of some TV models that causes the TV to jump to the Switch HDMI while it's in sleep mode. So I didn't have any trouble with that, but that would be really annoying. So
Yeah,
I'm glad
I
they
could
fixed that.
imagine. Now I've got this dumb story of the day, and I saw this.
It's a new segment.
Yeah, I have to come up with a funny little jingle.
It's a dumb story, a really dumb story, the dumb story of the day.
Yep, a really dumb story.
But the AM2R, which is another Metroid 2 remake, obviously the very famous remake that was shut down by Nintendo with good reason, as we know now. The story headline was AM2R developers don't want you to boycott Metroid Samus Returns. And I'm like, no, duh. Like,
Yeah, why would
like,
they want you to boycott it?
we want another Metroid game so bad. Come on, Nintendo. And then they're like, here you go. And everyone's like, we better boycott Nintendo. We don't want them. This ain't my Metroid game.
What the? Yeah. You're like, what in the world? It's so weird. Like, but doesn't that totally explain how people would act or
It's-
how they do act?
It's just the fact that I stumbled across that headline. And it was like, come on, guys. We haven't had a Metroid game in how long? And you're finally getting one. And there's talk of boycotting it? Like, give
Yeah.
me a break, you jabronis. You know? Get out of here. Ugh. People, man.
You
Just
know why they said it
dumb.
though, right? Because I'm sure there are people that are going to boycott Metroid because of this.
But, like, it's like someone said, it's not like all of a sudden, like, AM2R is just going to disappear that suddenly when Samus Returns comes out. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't find
Let's-
it anywhere.
Let's just set the record straight. Nintendo owns Metroid, and
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows that. And the fans that made it don't, and they have every right to remake their own game.
People.
And technically, yeah. Anyway,
I'm just
we
shaking
all
my
know
head,
this.
man. It's just like, ugh. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, as you're shaking your head, keep shaking. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're coming back. And Alex is gonna help us with our compatible segment, and this time it's about amiibo.
Amiibo.
Compatible. Compatible.
Alrighty, and we are back for our featured segment of the show. Our compatible segment is back, and this time we're gonna take a look at those dang old amiibo.
Amiibo!
Collecting on your shelves and all over the place. taking over your rooms.
If you got
Oh,
them,
baby.
assuming they aren't already sold out.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to snag them. Or if you have tons of money and can rebuy them for millions of dollars. But, yeah, so we're going to
Casey.
go... What's up?
I said like Casey.
Oh, we're going to go over a little brief history of, Amiibo and sort of how they came to. Then we're going to get into just the craziness that ensued after they came out. And then, we're going to get into, maybe what we like about them, what we don't like, what we wish we could see. But we're going to get right into it. And actually, it's funny, when I was checking out the research for this, Toys for Bob and its parent company, Activision, actually came to Nintendo with an opportunity to partner on their new franchise known as Skylanders. And Nintendo actually passed on the exclusivity deal. And I wonder if they look back at that as a bad move, because obviously it went on to be wildly successful and, sort of was the spark plug to this Toys to Life, for a lack of a better word, fad. And I mean, looking at it, obviously Nintendo's doing very well with Amiibo, but I wonder if they had gotten their hands involved with Skylanders as well, what could have maybe happened with Amiibo? If that might have changed things. Or if maybe, it would have just sort of stayed, like, we're already involved in this, we're not going to make our Amiibo.
Well, I think that they knew it right when they probably saw it, they liked the idea, and they're like, you know what, let's take this and let's make our version of it, and let's not tie it to a third-party game or a
or
game.
Any
let's
games.
Tie it to a system, let's tie it to systems,
Yeah.
our name.
Its own platform.
Yeah, it's its own Amiibo is its own platform. It's amazing. It's a really cool idea when you think that, this one figure will work in 20 games, Very cool. So I feel like that's what they thought right when they got offered the opportunity, so.
Yeah, I wonder if that was what sort of, if they had maybe already been, thinking about working on something like that, or if that initial discussion set them on the path to Amiibo. But we actually see during the investors meeting in May of 2014, Nintendo presented the prototype of a comprehensive figurine platform for the 3DS and Wii U. It was codenamed NFP, standing for either Nintendo Figurine Platform, as we sort of just discussed, or NFC Featured Platform, and was slated to be revealed during E3 of that year, in which case it was officially unveiled on June 10th, 2014 at E3. Do you guys remember this at all? Do you remember being hyped when you saw these?
Was I hyped? Is that what you said?
Yeah, was it something that you saw and you were like, "Oh man, I want to get in on these"?
Kind of. I don't exactly. I remember like seeing it and thinking these are really cool. I'm not gonna get them all, obviously, but because they're so expensive, but they're really cool, and I'll get some of them. But that was like kind of my idea.
Okay. I have
Now I have all of them.
one of us. I have a mini story, if I may indulge you. I got married, or my wife and I got married that year, and for our wedding, we were actually we planned. Well, first of all, we had a video game themed wedding, so there's that, and we planned for all of our centerpieces to be Smash characters, video game characters on Smash Brothers trophies,
Oh wow!
as if they were, what would later become Amiibo. So we did we did Mario, Zelda, Link, all the Pokemon. Like we made a bunch of them for each table, and we were like very happy. It's like, wow, this is so cool. This is something that no one else will ever have. Figurines of all these Nintendo characters, and we put in all the money to buy all of these things, and we made it ourselves. How great! So that was our wedding. On our honeymoon, we watched E3. That's like the first thing we did on our honeymoon, because who doesn't watch E3 press conferences on a honeymoon, right?
It was bad timing planning the honeymoon during E3, but I guess if you have to have it during E3, you gotta at least watch it, right?
Yeah, so we of course woke up. Like, we were in like Hawaii, so we woke up at 5 a.m. to watch Nintendo's press conference on our honeymoon, on the first day of our honeymoon. And,
I totally would have.
Yeah, and one of the first things they're showing is like, hey, these are, this is amiibo. These are Nintendo figurines, and they're all based on the Smash characters, and they're Smash
perfect
poses.
for centerpieces.
How awesome! They would make perfect centerpieces, and I was like, so obviously, I'm thinking, first I'm thinking, what? Like, we just made all of these. Like, we put on all the money, and now, they have the idea, and they're gonna potentially make millions of dollars on these.
So you sued them, okay?
Well, no, because then the next thing I said was, yeah, I'm gonna get them all. This is amazing.
yeah. Oh, you didn't say boycott them.
Well, here's the
No,
question:
I'm
Did
pretty
you
sure
have
that
any Nintendo employees at the wedding that they saw these things and relayed the message real quick back to?
That would have been
Yeah, in one day.
That would have been a quick turnaround. Yeah, that would have been like a 2 to 3 day turnaround time for them.
They overnighted
oh
your
my gosh,
centerpieces.
this wedding was amazing. We have to do this right now. Hurry, get Reggie and Iwata in a commercial. Let's have them fight each other. Let's have the amiibo. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, remember those? Remember that crazy video?
If
Yeah.
you actually,
Reggie and Iwata
so
fighting
good.
each other.
if you look at that video, it's actually Alex's centerpieces.
Yes, they were mine. It was mine. You can still see the cake, the cake from it. So yeah, of course, I was very excited once I saw them. Needless to say.
Okay. Do you own them all?
I don't own all of them, but I own every, different type of amiibo. So I own the Smash set. I own the Animal Crossing set. I don't own the Kirby set except for Waddle Dee because Waddle Dee was a new character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, no doubles.
I don't own Kirby, Meta Knight, or DDD from the Kirby set, but I own Waddle Dee. But then I also own the Breath of the Wild and the Zelda Collector set. So yeah, I own nearly all of them except for
So what
when
you're
they were
saying is you
repeated.
don't own Meta Knight, Kirby, and DDD.
I do, except they're the Smash versions.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot. Do you own what about the Yoshis?
I own the
yarn
Yarn
ones?
Yoshis. I own the big Yarn Yoshi. I own Poochie. I own Shovel Knight, Chibi Robo, the Splatoon amiibo, the DK and Bowser Skylanders versions amiibo.
Oh,
Oh
no.
boy. Oh boy.
He went all in.
All
That's
right.
how far I
That'll
went
do
down
it
the
for our
hole.
compatible segment.
Yeah.
Huh?
And that'll do it.
Alex has to go real quick. Actually, it was a pleasure having you
I
on.
have to cry now.
No, that's great. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I can talk about my collection. I mean, I have every single Smash amiibo, and I recently just bought about 20 Animal Crossing amiibo from Best Buy because they were 99 cents.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is like buy one, get 14 free. So that's, but then I have I have the Yoshi ones and I have, I have the Kirby set and, but I did sell off the, Zelda ones, that I had because they were going like hotcakes online. So I was like, well, yep, I'm gonna my turnips are going for a high price today, so I'm gonna sell them before they get all stinky. So yeah, I love amiibo. We should talk about. I mean, Casey, what about you? How many do you have?
Yeah, I started out going all in. I bought the first. I remember actually I bought like half of the first wave. I pre-ordered on Amazon before they came out. Sort of picking the ones I like. I like them all, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, these are the ones that really resonate with me, so I'm gonna pick those up. And then I remember it might have been like a week before or a couple days before it actually came out. I was like, screw it, like I'm just gonna get them all. Like I'll get the first wave, and then like I'll go from there. And then I got the full second wave, and then the third wave came out, and that was when I think they started introducing the exclusives, and that was I had all of them except for DDD. That was the one I needed. And then actually, it's funny. I bought a 3D capture card, a 3DS capture card. And that was, like, my moment of, like, I'm canceling all other pre-orders on my amiibo. Like, I need, you know what I mean? Because, like, the capture card is super expensive. So it's like, that's it. I had all of the Super Mario line pre-ordered too. I was like, I'm canceling all these except for Toad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting out of here. I'm out. I'm out. But then, I've since picked up more. But I don't get every one. Like, I have almost all the Fire Emblem ones. I've got, Yoshi and Poochie. I've got, Chibi Robo and some Animal Crossing ones. But pretty much at this point, I'm just getting the ones that really look nice and stick out, like my favorites. For instance, I have Majora's Mask pre-ordered. I'm going to keep that one because I love that game. I've got the Pikmin one pre-ordered. I withstood the urge to get, like, Bayonetta and all that stuff, just because I'm like, I don't have enough room anymore, and, like, I'm trying to hopefully move out of my house here into an apartment within a couple months, so it's like, I need to start reducing the clutter if I can. So I'm trying to stay strong.
You threw all your amiibo boxes away.
Yep, I threw all of my amiibo box, because I've opened almost all of them, and I was keeping the boxes. Like, I tried to open them up very, carefully so that they stayed intact. And I was like, the hell am I doing? Like, first and foremost, I'm never going to get rid of most of these anyway. And if I do, it's like, is someone really going to want to, like, buy, like, oh, yeah, throw in the weird jank open box with it too, please. So,
Yeah.
it took, like, 2.5 garbage bags filled, but I cleared out a lot of space in my closet.
That's amazing. Yeah, geesh.
But, yeah, I mean, I guess just to run through a little bit more of the history, and then we could really just open it up into open discussion.
Yeah, talk about functionality.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. So they were officially revealed on, E3 2014. Smash, Mario Kart 8, and the Mario Party 10 were the first games that were going to have support. And
that was cool because they showed that it was going to... Because Mario Kart was already out.
Yeah, so we're getting...
So they're like, oh, it's going to be retroactively, fit into stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, so it seemed promising at the time. We actually saw the Amiibo support was formally introduced in the firmware in November and December of 2014. Amiibo launched on November 21st, 2014 in North America, the 28th in the UK, and December 6th in Japan. And that was that coincided with the release of Smash for Wii U. Actually, I took that Friday off, I remember. That was a good day. Had a huge box full of Amiibo and Smash.
That does sound fun.
Then they ended up saying we got the Super Mario line was coming out in March. Then we started hearing more. This was Amiibo was picking up and it was going buck wild. Iwata reveals the plans for Amiibo cards in February of 2015, and April 1st was actually when Happy Home Designer came out, and that was sort of the big release with the cards. Did you guys ever really get into the cards at all?
Wait, April 1st, 2015?
Yes.
Is when Happy Home Designer came out?
Yes, sir.
That's been out for 2 years?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that because
Man, what the heck?
I bought the bundle with the new 3DS, and I was like, dang, man, it's already been 2 and change years or whatever, you know what I mean? Time flies when you're having fun, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, cool. And yeah, that was the cards, Amiibo cards, and since then they've had just the Mario cards, right? Mario Sports.
Yeah.
Of all things.
Yeah, the Mario Sports cards. I don't really know why. It's sort of
so
interesting.
Weird.
Actually, I'm looking. I must have put that wrong date down. Maybe on April 1st they revealed that the Happy Home Designer would have it. It came out in September of 2015.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's still pushing 2 years at this point.
Still though, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
this is a little bit for Alex here. June 16th, 2015, Activision reveals Bowser and DK Amiibo cross Skylanders.
Yeah.
He snagged those puppies up real quick.
Well, actually, those I got way after it came out. I was like, nope, not gonna get them. Nope, not gonna get them. Then I saw them on GameStop, and I was like, sure.
I thought about buying DK just because I'm a big Donkey Kong fan, but I did not.
You're a big Donkey Kong.
I am.
A rabbit Donkey Kong.
Now to wrap, to wrap up just these last two bullet points. August 27th, 2015, Shovel Knight gets an amiibo unveiled.
Amazing.
Which was awesome. Yep. A great looking amiibo. I have that one. And then October 16th, 2015, Yarn amiibo are announced with Woolly World. So it was cool to see them branch out. And I really think the quality has gotten so much nicer. The initial Smash line was clearly modeled after the trophies in Smash Brothers, which is a great idea. But when you're making a trophy in the game, you don't need to worry about it breaking. So then obviously we got all those weird
gravity
yellow sticks up Link's butt and whatnot to hold him up.
The villager with the huge eyes.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember. I think I have that one.
Or Luigi's pose, just his pose.
Yeah, what in the world? That was so weird.
Yeah, so I think they've gotten
I still
much
don't get
better.
the whole plank thing.
It was already weird just as a trophy, amiibo aside.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so you guys have pretty much been, you were part of the craze early on, huh?
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happened. I was at the store. All the amiibo are on like the day of, and I was like, okay, I'll just get like a couple. I was like, I'm gonna get Link because I'm gonna use him.
Mm-hmm.
That Link is still in its package, and then I was like, okay, what other? And I'm like, I gotta get Villager because it's so weird that he's like that's a thing. Like that Nintendo, so out of all the other ones, I picked that one up. And that was a very good, very, very good decision. Because I think we all know that became the hot item. And I didn't even know it. And I remember I saw it, and I was listening to a podcast, and they said something about Amiibo being $100. And I was like, what? And then I looked on Amazon, and it was selling for $115. And I was like, I do not need this. And I put it up there for $100 and I sold it in 45 minutes.
Ooh.
And it was the best thing. And then a restock came out and I bought one for $13.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
the one with the better eyes, right?
But then I was totally, yeah. I was like, it looks better too. Then I was totally in, I've probably waited in like 2 or 3 lines, before a store opens, to get stuff. And
I think I've only waited for one line. It was Rosalina at Target. I went and I went like an hour or so before doors opened up, and there was a couple people there. We got them pretty easily. That was really the only line I waited in. I also bought when again with the exclusive, Lucario was a Toys R Us exclusive, and someone on Craigslist had bought like a bunch of pre-order slips, and he was selling the slips. So I think I bought 2 slips for like $20. So that was like the most I paid over retail. So it's like I paid, I guess each one was technically like $1 towards a reserve, So I guess technically I paid $10 per Lucario over. And I remember I was like, oh, I'm going to get the extra Lucario because that'll work for like trade bait for the other exclusives. And then that was when I was like, screw it, I'm out.
yeah, that's it. I'm going fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember like the malfunctions early on?
Yes,
like
the Samus with the 2 cannons.
Yeah, that thing sold for $2,500 on eBay.
Ooh.
And that
Alex, did you buy that?
And now I'm looking I'm looking at this, and this is from the wiki page. It seems unlikely, but they're saying that the defect of Princess Peach that was missing her legs sold for $25,000.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
No, that
People are crazy,
yeah,
man.
that's crazy.
People are crazy.
yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I wish I freaking
And then-
landed that one. You know, like I'll never have to pay for another Nintendo game again. I'm set.
You could just break
Yeah.
off the legs of Peach and then just reseal the box.
Yeah. Casey sells the legless Princess Peach, and he's like, now I can buy that Samus with 2 arms.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, finally.
Yeah, and then some.
I could buy 10 of them.
Yes, and then do you guys remember in April of 2015, pre-orders were being taken for the Wave 4 of the Super Smash Bros. And the Splatoon, which I remember pre-ordering those from GameStop, and apparently it like crashed GameStop's website and their register system.
Yeah, so I actually have a story about that. So yeah, Wave 4, there's like, there was a line at GameStop for like, just the pre-orders, and after the first person, it crashed, okay? So the whole system crashed. Online was crashed. I don't know what they were doing. I think they were like looking they were on their website making the pre-orders, like the staff. That's how they made the pre-orders, by just going on the website and like pulling in the pre-orders, as opposed to like an in-store thing. And, they, right after that person, it was like crashed for maybe, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. Okay. Second in line, no more amiibo. Sold out.
Oh no!
That's
So-
terrible.
But what happened was so I think my wife was there. She was able to get Wario. I think Wario was in that set. Wario or maybe Pac-Man, like one of the ones that ended up being more common. She at least got that one pre-order. The other 5 or whatever was sold out because it was like what, Ness and some other big
Yeah,
hitters.
that was like Lucina
Yeah.
and Robin.
Yeah, Robin,
I
Ness
remember
was in
those.
there. So, I called I did a survey, one of those surveys, customer satisfaction, and I was like, I let him have it. I was like, I am very sad that I did not get the amiibo, blah 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 blah. I don't remember what I said, but they ended up calling me and asked me, what happened, and I was like, I told them the whole situation. They're like, so it's the 6 set amiibo, right? And it was like, okay, what's your address? Like, we'll ship it to you right now. And I was like,
wow.
oh, sweet. So they ended up shipping it to me, like 1-day shipping, and I had all 6 of the set the next day.
That's fantastic. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, so I was like,
GameStop,
right? And like, just because of like one little like complaint made after purchasing one amiibo, they called me back and were totally apologetic and were like, we understand these things are big. I'm looking and we have an extra set. It's yours. So.
Oh
Dude,
my
that's crazy.
goodness!
That's
Right?
Wow.
See, that's
So-
something that makes you want to go back there. Like
Right. As much
Going
as
above
people
and
say
beyond.
things about GameStop, like they really, they really did me a favor there by.
Did you a solid?
Yeah, they did me a solid, is what they did.
And now you're on a podcast and you are telling people about how great it is. So I think it paid off for them.
Yeah, who knows? I might have quit after that wave. That wave was the worst wave by far. Like, wave 3 was pretty rough, with all the exclusives. But wave 4, like, that whole situation that messed with GameStop, it was the worst. So,
See, I am so proud to have. I've never paid more than retail for an amiibo, and I have the whole set. And I did that by trading a lot. I traded on a Facebook group, and it was awesome. Worked really well. So yeah, it was fun.
I traded
Yeah.
a Little Mac, and it was some PS4 game. I don't even remember what it was. For an NES top loader, and Super Mario 3.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was like, heck yeah. That's
See, that's
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
I think I'm
So-
trying to think. what PS4 game it could have been. It might have been like Mortal Kombat or something.
Watch it be Skylanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did import, I think, about three or four of the amiibo. You know, like the really tough exclusives like Rosalina and Lucario. Although I did end up still getting the American Lucario somehow, but I made up for it by, you know, there were a lot of sales at Toys R Us for like buy two get one, you know, on Toys to Life figurines, and that happened actually the first day that amiibo came out. So I wasn't sure 100% sure if I was gonna get them all, but once the Toys R Us had that sale, I saw like Wii Fit Trainer, there was only like one left of it, there was only like one left of Mart, stuff like that, and I was like, if it's just like buy two get one free, I'm just gonna get, you know, 9 or 12 of them. So
It's loading up.
That's amazing.
Those sales get you.
Stupid Toys R Us though charges an extra $1.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
There's a toy
Jerks.
tax or something.
And I was just thinking that when like Bowser Jr., like when they had their Toys R Us exclusives, that is textbook extortion. Textbook extortion.
Well, that's what amiibo are.
That's true. Now, let's quick fire go through all of the amiibo series. So it started with Super Smash Bros.
Then we got the
Best
Super Mario line.
Yes, yeah. Then we have Splatoon.
Then the Woolly World.
Then one of the greatest there is, the Chibi Robo.
Yes.
Set
Yes.
of one. And then the worst that there was, Animal Crossing, which almost killed the amiibo franchise.
Set of 4 million.
Yep, no, but the funny thing is the cards were really successful, right? But then, yeah.
It
should have just been cards.
I never
Should've
got
just been
into the cards. I did draw the line
neither.
at cards just because it was random packs as opposed to knowing what you were getting.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think I bought like 2 packs, but that's pretty much it.
And then there was the Super Mario line, which was the ones like kind of branded
The
by
Maker.
like Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Which was so stupid that you couldn't use those in Mario Maker for 3DS. I thought that was so stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then Skylanders.
Then
The
another Lone
10,000.
Ranger in the Shovel Knight.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Then Breath of the
And
Wild, Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess it wasn't
Yep,
just
but-
Breath of the Wild. We got the 30th anniversary as well.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's like a Zelda
And there's
series.
more coming out for Zelda.
And the Twilight Princess,
And that super
which
cute.
is
Oh
amazing.
yeah, Midna.
And Majora's Mask, baby.
Woo-wee.
And then you
Oh,
also
yeah.
got that super duper cute Kirby line.
Yeah,
That
I
happened.
love that line.
Yeah, that is a good line.
Yep. So, and there's lots more on the way. Fire Emblem line. There's
Mario Odyssey with the wedding.
Oh man,
Oh,
those
Wedding
look
amiibo.
so
Guys.
good.
Well,
so
that would have
Guys,
been nice.
I thought of what we can call wedding suit Mario. Are you ready for this? Mario. Huh? We can finally call him
Alrighty,
Mario.
we'll see you next week here on the Talk Nintendo.
You guys are just jealous because you didn't think of it first.
I already got it patented.
Mario.
You're right. We are jealous.
Yeah. Casey's from New York. He already says, I already say Mario.
Yeah,
Cap Cam.
yeah, that was terrible.
Kiap Kim.
I tell you something about that Capcom. They need to bring that Resident Evil. So now let's get into the functionality. Do you guys like looking at it as a whole? I mean, as far as functionality goes, you have to think it's been a failure. For the most part. I mean, most of these things really don't offer too much. I think
yeah.
the best implementation might have been the very first implementation in the Smash line.
No.
That's pretty unique, cool thing that you could train up your amiibo and that they'd, have their own play style depending on how you played against them. I thought it was cool if you never played with items against them, and then eventually you play an items match. They're not gonna go grab that item just because they've never seen it before.
I don't know. I think that's a unique, cool thing. I mean, that they kind of did in other things a little bit, like with I think they did something like that with Mario Party, like where you kind of level up things, but honestly, I feel like the best or the most practical implementation of amiibo, like I love them as kind of being these trophies that you have, and that now that you have the Ness amiibo, you can unlock the Ness skin. You know, like now it gives you the ability to, and it's something that you don't need in the game to win. You don't need it. It's a kind of a, sure, it might have that collect 'em all type thing, you know, that hook that might be annoying if you're kind of OCD, which I can totally see. But I mean, I love the idea. It's like I own this thing and I can use it in all these games, and like I scan it into my 3D Picross 2, and now I have like a really cool Zelda puzzle. Like that, it's like extra content for each thing. Like, you know, I think that's really cool. I don't know. I wish, you know, Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World, really good examples of those where it's like really simple skins, but now I'm gonna use my Samus, you know, Yoshi for the whole game. That's just how it works.
I will say, yeah, the Yoshi was... I did enjoy the skins they unlocked. That was probably my favorite part of that game, was collecting those, getting the 5 wolves and unlocking the new skin.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, Breath of the Wild, same thing. It's like I have my Ocarina of Time Link, and I can get his clothes. Like, that's so cool. And I have the original 8-bit Link. I can get his the original Zelda, Legend of Zelda clothes, you know. I just think that's so cool. I have the Wind Waker Link, you know, and I get a boomerang, a sea boomerang. I just think that's so cool. So I love stuff like that. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the functionality is that great, you know, for any game. But I mean, why I got the amiibo was not because I wanted to, you know, have a character in Smash, you know, for the amiibo. I want the figurine itself. Like, it's...
Exactly.
We have
the value
Little
of that.
Mac as a figurine. Like, I don't think Punch-Out has had any merchandise since, you know, the original NES release. Like, we're getting characters who, you know, would have never gotten toys in amiibo form, like Pit,
Lucas,
Wii Fit Trainer.
Wii Fit Trainer, like the Fire
I
Emblem
know,
character.
exactly.
This is crazy.
Exactly. It's amazing.
Yeah. Once they said all Smash characters, I was like, well, I love all the Smash characters. They're all like, you know, all these classic Nintendo, you know, classic retro characters. Like we've never seen a lot of them in, you know, in toy form. So I was so looking forward to that at first, you know?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
Functionality wise, like a D minus, but like you said, you know, I'm mostly buying them because I like how they look. I think they look great when you put them on the shelf. They look way better now than they did in the beginning too. With each line that comes out, they really do look nicer and nicer. And I mean, I guess real quick, what's your favorite and your least favorite amiibo?
But before we get into that, I guess I feel like I can sum up what I was trying to say before. I think that as physical figures, that's what you're buying, and then that the amiibo functionality is like a bonus. So that's why I feel like it's not like a ripoff. Sure, like the functionality hasn't been that good. I totally agree on that. I think the potential is way better, but I mean, it's a bonus, so it's like nothing, you know, I know what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's actually
that's what I was
funny
gonna say.
that the games like aimed at trying to really capitalize on amiibo tend to be the worst. Like Amiibo Festival, you know, was, you know, not very good.
Yeah.
Then you got like Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. That actually wasn't a terrible. Did you guys play that game at all?
No,
I did.
I
yeah,
didn't play
I mean, I like
all
that.
of it, but I thought it was a decent
I
idea.
like the concept.
I mean, that's...
It's
Oh, sorry.
it just came out so soon after Tipping Stars, so it just wasn't that. I don't know. I feel like they should have just like retroactively put that into Tipping Stars. I don't know.
I think the Mini Mario game is the best example of locking content to amiibo. And maybe that's why Nintendo really didn't pursue that, because, you know, it was a free game. It had to be free. Anyone could download it, but you needed the specific amiibo to unlock stages in the game. You know?
Yep.
So...
That was like a bone
Yeah.
for everyone who'd already bought all of them. Like, all right,
Yeah,
guys, here
so
you
for
go.
me, for me it was fun. But, you know,
Right.
for people who only had one amiibo, it would be like, well, those 4 levels were fun. So I
Yeah.
think I think Nintendo really wanted to say amiibo are extras and a bonus. We'll give you bonuses, but it's not something we want you to force you to buy. You do it enough already.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need
Right.
to twist your arm.
Yeah, you'll twist it because Peach didn't have legs or something.
Yeah, that wallet's already wide open.
Well, let's
was the
end
question?
it with what Casey was
Yes.
saying. What is our least favorite amiibo and our favorite amiibo? Does anyone know? Because I'm racking my brain right
I've
now.
got mine lined up here.
I have a
right, go
favorite
for it.
amiibo, but I have to think of a least favorite. So why
I'm
don't
going
you
to start with my least favorite.
Okay.
Okay.
And I gave it away not too long ago. It's that stupid Sonic amiibo. You know why? Because
Because it's Sonic.
that was when I was like, I'm gonna get all the amiibo, so I guess I need to get Sonic, And then when I stopped getting all of them, it was just I tried to hide it, it was down on the bottom of my shelf where you couldn't see it, and just knowing that it was in my room was enough to just I was like, I need to get rid of this piece of trash, and now good old Dan has
it's
it.
being cherished by good old Dan.
Now good old Dan's got it. Now my favorite amiibo.
And he's probably took it with him to Cuba.
Yeah, good. He maybe left it there in the dirt.
With Koki.
Yeah. My favorite amiibo, I got him right here. It's my boy Poochie, because he's just the darn cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, Poochie's pretty great.
Yoshi is a close second, but my God, Poochie, it's just next level.
Yeah.
I wish I got that Mega Yarn Yoshi. That is my biggest regret.
Alex, what's your favorite? You said you had your favorite?
I actually have my least favorite now, so I'll start with that.
Oh, okay.
And move more
Is
positive.
it Sonic as well?
No. I rather like my Sonic amiibo. I don't really like the Mr. Game & Watch amiibo that much. Mostly because Mr. Game & Watch was a special kind of amiibo. It came with 4 poses. So it had the normal pose and then 3 other custom poses, that you could take out of his stand and then replace with another pose. And I think they did that because they knew that Mr. Game & Watch was kind of a cheapo, cheapo plastic amiibo as opposed to the other ones.
Yeah, it's just
So-
flat.
Yeah, so I think the biggest problem with that though is where do you store the other 3? I don't have 3 other Mr. Game & Watch stands that I can put the extra poses on. So I just put them under my Mr. Game & Watch amiibo. I just stick all the poses like in a pile under my Mr. Game & Watch. So I just don't think it looks good, and I don't really know where else to put them.
Yeah.
You gotta buy 2 other ones.
Right.
And then...
That's the only.
But then where do you put those?
You
But
put
then
him
where
with
do
Sonic
I put
in
the
the
other
dirt.
12?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that I think just organization wise, and I like being able to organize them like on on a display. So it just looks awkward because I don't know where to put those other 3, and I'm not gonna switch it out. I want the trophy version of Game & Watch. So yeah,
Right.
my favorite though is the one Casey did not have, which is the Mega Yarn Yoshi. And it's just a big plush amiibo. Like I collect plushies. Our video setup right now is you can see all of our plushies like on the couch back in the back of us. So I love like Nintendo plushies. I love like video game and anime plushies, and to have an amiibo that is also a Yarn Yoshi plushie, I lined up for that.
Yeah, I saw it one time in Toys R Us, and for some reason, I did not get it. I regret it to this very day.
It's just so cute. Like it didn't even have to be an amiibo. Like I would have gotten it because it was plush and Yoshi.
What they really should do is make a Mega Yarn Poochie.
Yeah.
I would freak it. I'd pay $100.
All right. Well, I'm going to knit one right now.
I will send you $100.
Sweet. Then I can buy amiibo.
You just have to sacrifice one mini Poochie, cut out his little NFC tag.
Oh, you wanted the NFC tag, huh?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't really even care.
Well, I think I have my least and most favorite. Honestly, my least favorite, it has to, and I'm sorry, it has to be Sonic. I'm sorry. I know I'm copying Casey. It really is. I know, totally copying, but I mean, I just don't like Sonic. No offense to everyone out there, but yeah.
I mean, all of the offense.
Yeah.
Sonic haters. Oof.
Yeah.
This is a no Sonic
Dan.
podcast, yeah.
Now, my favorite is a tie, because I just can't pick it. But it's no. I'll pick my favorite. I'll tell my runner up. My favorite is Duck Hunt. It's my favorite amiibo. I
That's
love
a
that
good
it
one.
exists. That's my main in Smash.
Yeah.
And I love Duck Hunt, and I love dogs, so it was just perfect. And then second is Chibi Robo, because same reason. I love dogs. So, yeah. I love that exists, and I also love that little outlet, like it's literally to size, like the Chibi Robo's to size, but you can't stick it in an outlet because
You might die.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yep.
What about
Well-
Poochie?
Yeah, how I love Poochie. And I do, but not as much as Duck Hunt. Like I said, I do love my dogs. I hear you. But I think that'll wrap it up for our third compatible segment.
Compatible. Compatible.
Alrighty, and we've got some plugs, and we are Talk Nintendo Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Talk Nintendo Pod. But more importantly, Alex, plug away, my friend.
All right, so I am Alex, aka Mr. Panda, and I run several things that are related to the name Mr. Panda. So first of all, you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Panda 2002. So that's MrPanda 2002, Mr. Panda 2002. So that's my Twitter. And then, if you remember that Mr. Panda 2002, you can also find my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Mr. Panda 2002. Again, same spelling, MrPanda
Nice.
2002. And then you can also check out, my personal site where I put a lot of my written stuff as well as, the video content at, I think this one is actually mrpanda2002.wordpress.com. So yeah, it's just, everything is just Mr. Panda 2002.
And I gotta ask, I'm sorry, I just for the listener's sake, is Panda, why Panda?
Okay, so Panda. So basically, where does my username come from? So, Mr. Panda. So I like anime, as you could have told based on things I've said
All
today. One of my old favorites is an anime called Ranma 1/2. Not sure if
Okay.
you've heard of it, but it's about a boy who turns into a girl when doused with cold water.
Okay.
Yes. So his
Sounds like anime.
Yep, sounds like anime. It's perfect anime plot. His/her dad, his father, turns into a panda when splashed with cold water, and then he turns back into a guy when splashed with hot water. And occasionally he goes under the moniker Mr. Panda. So around 2002, I'm guessing. I was really into Ranma, and it's an old anime. It's like from the late 80s, early 90s, so it was by no means new when I watched it. But I was really into Ranma, and so I came up with the username Mr. Panda. And apparently some jerk took regular Mr. Panda, so they put numbers after it, and I came up with 2002.
Jerk.
Yeah, jerk. Which is good because apparently a lot of things on the internet already have Mr. Panda taken. Apparently that's a common name. So so the 2002 actually I guess helps because very few people take 2002, and I'm hoping that we don't get to the year where people born in 2002 start making usernames, which I guess might already be happening, but
Yeah, Jesus, they're
that's-
15.
that's
yeah.
happening.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yes.
Time flies.
Until then, I'll be able to freely take all the 2002 because most people don't take that number.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get you confused with the New Age group.
Yeah, I really
composed
hope.
of Randy
Yeah,
and Pamela
I
Copus.
really hope that people don't assume that I am that I am like whatever the next
A New Age
yes.
group.
Is
What's
that
he,
the-
15?
Is that what they're called? I'm 15.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Yeah. So that is the origin, the Panda origins.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's going to bring us to an end. We want to thank you for joining us, Alex. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
We'll have to have you back on sometime for sure. This was a blast. We got off the rails with our arms singing, but
Beautiful.
moo moo moo.
Whoa.
Ski bop bop a dee, I got disconnected,
Damn, we
baby,
lost Casey.
and I'm
Oh, no.
no longer on the call.
Oh, it's
And
okay.
Perry and Alex are chatting away, potentially
He texted
about
me, he says,
that
"Looks
Switch
like I
download
lost you."
today.
Or it looks like
And Perry's gonna hear this, probably put it in the stinger, and it's
Did he
gonna be
disconnect there or
embarrassing.
I don't know.
I mean, I could pretend to be Casey. Hey guys, I'm Casey. Let's talk about the Switch download, guys.
Man, okay, Casey's back on. Cool.
Is there a cheat shop so I can level everyone up to level 9,000?
Text book extortion.
Can you build one?
Text book extortion.
I rather like my Sonic amiibo.